What is up, everybody? Welcome back to live stream. We have not had one of these in
forever,
quite some time. It has been a minute, and there's a lot of reasons for that, but nothing we really need to get into. One of them is because every time we do it, you guys tell us we're lagging or this or that or next. So first things first, let us know. Can you hear us? Is the audio okay? Is the picture okay? Can you see our guest over here? Or in the case of his channel, the main guy, and we're the guests. So we are streaming from both channels tonight. So pick your poison, go to whichever one you want. Hopefully you're just here watching. But as you can see tonight, we have Adam, Amsel Adam, and you're supposed to say her name.
Katie.
And Katie. We worked this out. Jeez.
You can tell this
Adam
is not
Katie?
well rehearsed.
No,
well, he doesn't like to tell me his plans until he just looks at me and says, "Okay, you're supposed to say this."
I definitely told you that in my head. I know I had this conversation in my head. So we've been talking for a while about. Yes, you are supposed to be.
I mean, after 25 years, I'm a little bit I've learned some of it, but not all of it. I'm still getting there.
So yeah, we've been talking for a while with Adam about different ways that we could do some things together, and he threw the idea out doing a live stream the other day, since we both are just getting done with Sturgis, us there obviously as Sturgis partakers and partiers and riders, and Adam obviously as a rally vendor. So we decided to come on together and just shoot the shit about Sturgis. So how are you guys doing tonight?
We're doing well. We're over here in Minnesota right now, so we're taking a little bit of time off. We finished up with a rally on Saturday, and on Sunday we drove over here and just been kind of taking a couple days to, tidy up loose ends, but kind of relax just a little bit. And it's really, really nice over here, so we're enjoying that.
Nice.
I'm good. I bet you need a few days relaxation. I know you guys worked really hard at Sturgis. How many days in a row did you work?
Well, if you count setup days, 16 days.
16, yeah.
Wow,
that's a lot.
And how long are those days?
Were 16 from 8 a.m. till sometimes 8 p.m. There were some days we were able to shut down around 6, but a lot of times we were open till 7 or 8.
Okay.
So it's a lot of work to be out here.
Just our conversation, I just want to. Yeah, I bet. And we'll talk more about that. But let me real quick say what's up to the people in the side chat on my side. I don't know if you can see the side chat so there's a spot over on the side that says comments. It's on the right side on mine at the top, and that's where you can see the people.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it, but I'm not seeing it on our Yard stream thing or StreamYard thing, but Katie's got our channel pulled up watching the live on our channel, so she can see the comments there.
Yeah.
Okay, so
good.
Keep an eye on your comments. If there's anything you need to answer or respond to, that's cool. But I just want to shout out Bagger Bader, Joe from behind Rudy's Fairing. Who else we got? Loaded Gun, Mrs. Double A, Greg Miller. That's you? Okay.
Yeah, Mrs. Amsel
Woods. I'm thinking maybe the ones with the chains. See that little link right there on the comment? I think maybe that's coming from his channel because I've never seen that before. So that might be some of his viewers. Murray Helmer, what's happening? Mighty Quinn, Chili Willie, Russ Michael, Street Glide, 0922, the Kilted Coachman, Big Ring Rides. What's happening? We got to meet Big Ring Ride at the rally.
Hi.
Craig May. And who else?
It's funny when you meet people and they walk up and they're like, "Hi, my name's Frank," and you're like,
"Who?"
Hey, and then they tell you their screen name, and you're like, "Oh yeah, hey."
Yeah, in our world here, everybody has got a screen name, and we don't really use their real name. So thank you guys all for watching. Hopefully, if you're watching on here and you're on my side, you will make sure you're subscribed, if not already, to Adam's. And, by all means, if you're watching from Adam's channel and you want to subscribe to mine, we won't be mad at you.
Yeah, definitely. We've got
So
a
I
lot of
had to,
stuff in
I had to,
common on our channels, so I think it's great that they cross homogenate. Well, I can't make. I'm just making a
Pollinate,
pollinate. Yeah,
pollinate each other.
pollinate's good too. I think homogeneity, that's something to do with milk, ain't it?
yeah,
Maybe.
something
Yeah.
like that. Blending of milk.
Yeah.
Keep
So
it a
works
cream.
too.
You know?
Keeping it creamy.
keeping
Keep it
it
clean, Adam. Keep
creamy.
it clean.
So I did just I mean, we could talk about whatever you want and you can lead, with whatever you want, bring up whatever you want, but I did, just to make sure we had talking points and things to discuss, I did go in and create some. So just to keep the flow going and
Getting
make
all
sure
technical.
we're not just staring at each other with nothing to say. But I told Carolyn, I said Adam is a talker, so we should be good.
Actually, I don't know that I'm
That's
that
what
much
he's
of a
banking on
talker.
anyway.
But
No,
yeah,
I'm the
'Cause
talker.
I'm not
he
typically a
never
talker
shuts up.
until I've had about 3. So
Yeah. So yeah, I know that when you and I were discussing doing this, you wanted to kind of do a recap on Sturgis. So I don't know what talking points you've got. I mean, I've got a few in my head. So yeah, you go ahead and lead with what you've got already. Maybe it'll feed into what I kind of had already too.
Well, a couple of things before we actually got into Sturgis. I kind of wanted, I mean, it's probably not likely, but if there's any of my viewers that haven't seen your channel, which isn't likely, but I'd like to hear the story anyway. So, how exactly did the Angela Adam channel get started? What was your thought process in that? What led into that? When did that happen? And just kind of give us a little bit of that background.
So it's a little bit of a long story, but I'll keep it as concise as possible. So we started the channel during COVID, right? But the idea for the channel came long before that. So a lot of people seem to think that I created the channel to help promote our business. And truth is, I'm not that smart. I had no clue it was going to help our business, which it has, but that was never my focus. Originally, the plan was to just start a channel describing what our lives are like out here as vendors for the rallies. And that idea came because as we would meet people in real life and they'd ask what we do for a living, trying to explain to them that, like, well, we travel to motorcycle rallies and we set everything up, we service motorcycles and sell products, and then we pack it all up and move to do the same thing all over again. People are like, oh wow, we never knew that something like that existed, and that it sounds like a really exciting lifestyle, and like you're living like the rock star lifestyle and everything. And like that's partially true, but at the same time, there's a lot of challenges that come with doing that. And I thought, you know what, we ought to create a TV series. And in my brain, I was thinking like how Ice Road Truckers is formatted, how Moonshiners or some of these other reality TV shows that you would see on Discovery Channel. That was my idea, that we would follow more than one vendor around, not just us, but follow their travels as they go from rally to rally. And we don't all do the same rallies. So like there'd be different storylines, but then we'd all meet up in like Daytona, where all those different storylines would kind of come together. Or we'd all meet up in Sturgis or wherever, even though some of us may have been other places, some of us may have other challenges. But between like the breakdowns and the struggles and just the regular business stresses that we deal with running our operation, and that varies from person to person. We run a legitimate company, right? We're a corporation, and there's other people out here that are more fly by night, like, living paycheck to paycheck on the rallies. I mean, they're just a totally different lifestyle than what we have, so they see things from a different point of view. So the whole idea popped into like, we'll create this 1 hour episode every month or something like that, based on everybody's footage that they give me, and I'd create one episode. And everybody I talked to about it thought it was a great idea, that we should do it. But the problem is nobody would actually start recording. Nobody would give me footage. So like for a couple of years, it was just an idea that nobody actually did anything about. And then when COVID happened and all of our shows got canceled, we're literally, we're trapped at home. I'm trying to get projects done at the house now because I can't go out and work. And that's when I finally decided, you know what, if I want to do this, I got to figure out how to record stuff on my phone. I had no idea how to use my camera phone. And I just started recording videos of me doing an oil change on my daughter's car, my mom's car, fixing a four-wheeler, just stuff I was doing around the house during COVID. And And then the challenge was like learning how to edit. I had never used any of the editing software before. And just so you guys know, I am computer inept, right? I'm like a complete moron when it comes to computers and electronics. You put a wrench in my hand, I can fix just about anything, but with computers, I'm not that good. So it was really challenging for me anyways, to figure that out. So anyway, I just kept playing with it and I kind of formulated a few videos and they were absolutely terrible. And then we got the good news that Sturgis was going to happen in 2020. So we went ahead and did that trip. So that was my first bike week that's per se that I recorded along the way. We stopped at the Iowa 80 truck stop. We've recorded all of these points, right? But I still didn't post any of it. I was just recording and still playing with the editing. And then Thanksgiving weekend on 2020, I just decided, you know what, this is the time we do it. My family kind of pushed me into it a little bit more, and my friends said, "Yeah, you really should do it." And I was scared. I was nervous. I've never been a person to be the center of attention. I was the kind of person who would try to avoid family pictures even because I didn't want to be in them. And so this was huge for me to try to do this, and I automatically assumed that I'd fail. And but I just, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna do it. So I created my first like opening video explaining what we were trying to do, and then I just started posting those videos that I'd already had made. And then it's been like a crazy journey since then. And it took a long time to get recognized, but I had a few other YouTubers along the way that helped. And then before you know it, we got monetized and like views started going through the roof and it just turned into something. And I really started to enjoy it. So like I can't imagine my life now without YouTube. That it's just like every day, it's like, hey, do I record this or do I not record this? And most times I record this.
Also, it's kind of like a time capsule for our children and grandchildren in the future.
Yeah, definitely. And that was kind of the idea behind us starting too back in the day when George had the idea. It was kind of that was really what it was, just documenting our riding experiences and stuff. But does everything look okay on that? Like,
Yeah.
Like glitching? All right, cool.
Yeah.
No, and I actually think that the concept of doing it for the reasons that you just talked about is much better than just trying to promote the channel. And that would have been actually a sick idea and actually been amazing if people actually followed through and sent you the footage and stuff. But those ideas are always great until you got to do a little bit of extra work yourself. And then it's like, never mind.
And truth is, I would still
really
be all for doing that original concept if I could get some other vendors to just, put forth the effort to supply me with some footage of what they're doing, because I can't exactly follow them around. I think it would be really cool to do.
Yeah, no, it would. And I think it's really, it's just a cool concept of just seeing the way your days go and talking about the different things you have to do and the different struggles that you guys face in different times, and whether it's weather or just heat or whatever. Like it's really cool concept. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So where did the AMSOIL come from? Like how did that become like such a big part of it?
So I first heard of AMSOIL when I was going to motorcycle school way back in the 90s, right? The instructor that was teaching my theory classes, he was a big AMSOIL proponent and sold it in his shop. And so I kind of learned about it then, but then like a couple years went by and I really didn't hear much about it or use it a little bit. And then I actually volunteered for a motorcycle race team back in the days, again, back in the late 90s. And most of that was because when I got out of school, I had this education and I aced everything in school. I had really good grades, but I had zero practical experience. So I'd walk into these dealerships and I wanted to get a job, and they all wanted to pay me $6 an hour to sweep the parking lot. And then maybe someday I could help a technician or something like that. I was going to be the guy that they sent out to get lunch for everybody. And unfortunately, us just starting a family, we had two very young children. I couldn't go to work someplace for $6 an hour and still survive. So I just never did that. And then I just started working on motorcycles on the side in my garage and kind of built my own little clientele there. And then eventually I opened up my own shop. And when I opened up the shop, I had an AMSOIL dealer walk in and say, "Hey, do you want to sell AMSOIL products here?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I remember that product." And I skipped ahead a little bit here. The race team, they used AMSOIL, right? So when I was volunteering for the race team just to
Yeah.
get experience, they were using AMSOIL there. And I started to see the benefits as I'm pulling engines apart and inspecting things. I could see that the performance was very, very good. So I was a believer in the product. Now jump forward to 2006, 2007. I opened up my very first shop that was my own shop and not working for anybody else. And I had that opportunity to sell the product through the store. So I did. I just kept it on the shelf. And if you came in and you wanted an oil change, you had a choice of a couple different oils, but AMSOIL was one of them. And it was always my go-to. And I don't know, after, I don't know, probably about 2 years of that dealer that was supporting my shop or bringing me the product, I just got to talking
Uh-oh.
to him about it. And I knew that AMSOIL offered programs to be dealers where you could actually distribute the product. And I just wanted to do something a little bit bigger, a little bit better. I wanted to earn a little bit more money off of doing what I do. So I talked to him and I became a dealer underneath him. And then we started working a couple small shows. And then before we know it, I started doing oil changes at the shows, and it started really, really small, and then it's turned into this. And the AMSOIL Adam just became, because as people were trying to refer to me, and they say, "Oh, that guy Adam," like who? Like the AMSOIL guy. Like, oh yeah, AMSOIL Adam. So it's just kind of a nickname that stuck. So when we decided to come up with a name for the channel, that's just what we used because it had a nice ring to it.
But also,
Right.
that's how
Yeah.
everybody knew him. The event coordinators, the other vendors, they'd be like, where's this AMSOIL Adam guy? And go, oh, AMSOIL's over there, or whatever. So I said, that's how people know you. So you should just continue with that because you change it to just, our company name is Extreme Bikes, which a lot of people don't realize until they come to the tent and they're just like, what is that? And I'm like, that's our company.
Yeah.
But most people know him because he's AMSOIL Adam. So that's how
Okay.
that kind of thing out.
So BH Freak, just real quick. He said this is okay. This is more of a live podcast and not a live feed with questions from viewers. So we do BH Freak. We do like to take, respond and answer the questions in the side chat. So as we go through the night, I will be looking at the side chat, and if you guys have good questions, we'll definitely we'll try to answer them, whether it's for Adam or for us or whatever. So we like to interact with the side chat, and we're not trying to, big time people like we're celebrities. That's part of the reason we do this, is to be able to interact with you guys.
Well, I
Yeah,
did see
we're
one
definitely
question,
not
probably
celebrities.
jumping ahead, but they were asking about your thrash and supply truck this year. So that's new to you guys, fairly new. So do you want to maybe jump ahead and tell us about your thrash and truck that you got new?
We can bounce all over the place.
Yeah.
Was it a specific question or?
I'd like to hear more about Adam's business plan with thrashing. I was surprised thrashing didn't visit him.
Oh yeah, that. So,
Oh yeah, that.
try to be very careful with that because I'm disappointed in a lot of it, but I'm thrilled with it. So as our business grows, I wanted to find other things to sell that I believed in. Right, I sell AMSOIL products because I believe in the product. It's a really good product. I've had other oil companies come to me and offer to basically give me product if I sell their product. And I'm like, no, because your product isn't as good as AMSOIL. I mean, so I don't sell AMSOIL because I make money on it. I sell AMSOIL because I believe in it. And that's why I make money selling it. Right. So being in this industry for over 30 years, I've seen a lot of fads come and go. And some of them have just been, in my mind, ridiculous. And I've never wanted to jump on board. Like, in the early 2000s, everybody was building choppers. And yes, choppers are really cool works of art. They look pretty. And, Jesse James and OCC, they were all big names. But if you've ever actually ridden a chopper, they sucked to ride. They weren't my thing. And I know some people love them. I'm not trying to knock anybody who likes choppers. It's just not my thing. So I never jumped on board with the chopper craze. They never did what I wanted a motorcycle to do. And then fast forward a little while longer, you get all the big wheel guys with the swoopy bags and, what we kind of call clown bikes because they look like a giant shoe on the foot of a clown or something. Again, some of them are absolutely beautiful works of arts. And I'm not trying to disrespect anybody that has one because I know it takes a lot of work to build one of those. But as a rider, they're a joke. They don't handle, they don't ride good. They're miserable to ride. And it's not motorcycling. It's building a piece of art that can be seen, not really be ridden, right? Even though I know that some of them are rideable. So again, I never got onto that fad. I never wanted to build big wheel choppers. I grew up riding sport bikes, like the road race machines. Like I said, I volunteered for a race team. I've always been performance oriented. And it's the one thing I really didn't like about Harley Davidson's for a long time is they just didn't have that performance that I was looking for. And over the years, I've learned to love my Harleys, right? Don't get me wrong. But they started to really produce motorcycles that perform much better in performance applications. So they're starting to appeal more to people like me and other people that grew up with the road race machines. So now I'm seeing a trend of performance baggers, and that I can get on board with because that's something I enjoy. It's not because it's a good business thing. It's just I believe in performance aspect of motorcycles. I like they're fun to ride that way. So now that that's kind of a trend and Harley's making a motorcycle that I like, that's why I decided to buy Dr. Evil and make my ultimate performance bagger out of it, which is still a work in progress. I'm not done. And as I started doing research on the products to do so, I came across Thrash and Supply products. I started watching some of their videos. And not only are their products a great product, I mean, as far as the machining and the workmanship, they build a top-notch product. I also love the fact that they're built in the United States. This all Chinese or not Chinese, everything's American and not from I like the product itself, but I also saw what those guys are doing for the industry. The younger crowds bringing Dynas back to life and kind of bringing a younger crowd into the industry that was kind of aging out or phasing out. So I decided that, well, if I want to grow my business, I need to do something nobody else is doing and something that I believe in. So that's the product I chose because nobody else at the rallies was selling their product. I didn't want to sell t-shirts because everybody and their brother selling clothing. I didn't want to sell
KSP bars either.
LED lights because there's already enough LED light guys out there, right? I didn't want to compete with my friends, but I also wanted to be somewhat original. And I thought that the Thrash and Supply line would be that ticket. And so far it's worked well. This is our first year kind of doing it full time. Last year it was just integrated into the tent and we did a decent amount of sales, but we've really upped the game this year. We've sold a whole lot more product than what we did last year because now it has its own identity, its own trailer, and it's really helped a lot. As far as the guys coming out to see us, they did send a couple of people in Daytona or I can't talk.
In Sturgis.
In Sturgis. It wasn't the crew that you see on TV, right? It was a guy named Jake. He was one of the guys, I guess he drives the van around behind them. He does a lot of the video editing and filming and stuff in the background. Really cool guy. And there was another gentleman with him whose name I honestly don't remember. We did get introduced, but I'm terrible with names. I just don't remember the name.
Yeah.
But I really wanted, Juan and Lance and all them to stop by. To me, it would just be a good business decision for them to say, hey, look, here's Adam doing what he does. We've got a huge YouTube following. They've got even huger YouTube following.
Yeah.
But I think marketing wise, it would have just been a really good business decision. And they were unable to find the time to do so, which is disappointing to me. I really hope they would. I have extended many, many olive branches to them. And they just don't take me up on any of the offers. I don't know if it's something I've done that they don't like, or if they just want to show favoritism, but I don't know what it is. I don't want to say anything bad about them. I just wish it would work differently.
Yeah, so there's a lot of people watching right now, and I'm sure a lot of you guys watch the Thrashing channel. So when you're in those comments, man, let them know that they need to come check out Adam's tent and his thrashing stuff that he's got set up. And I think that's the best way to get through to him because you guys are the people, that are buying their stuff as well. So you're the ones that they're going to listen to. So if you guys want to help out Adam, leave those comments, let them know they need to go by and check him out and meet with him and give him a plug because heck, he's selling their stuff,
Yeah. And the truth is there's been a lot of people leaving those comments already.
Yeah, be nice.
I go through their comments and I see it. Even in one of the videos on opening day when they went and picked up that Dyna from the Sturgis dealer there, or the Rapid City Harley dealer, they had mentioned that they wanted to get some parts overnighted so they could put handlebars on it. And somebody in the comments says, well, just take it over to Adam. He's right there. He'll take care of it for you like right now, And I would have. If they would have showed up, I would have immediately put parts on it, I mean, not charge them a penny because they're their parts. They could just reimburse me the parts, We could have hooked them up. The potential was there. A lot of missed opportunities, in my opinion, but I can't force people to do anything. So it is what it is.
Right. Well, it looks like from the comments, a lot of these guys have already left comments. So, I mean, hey, hopefully just keep doing it, and hopefully they'll come around and figure out that it'll be worth their while. But yeah, I think it's an awesome addition. And you're right. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen thrashing stuff being sold anywhere else. So it was a smart move instead of doing all that other stuff that's everybody's got, lights.
Yeah,
and
that was
leather
my
and
idea.
T-shirts. So very clever idea. Somebody had a comment, a question for you. Where did it go? They were asking about. Oh yeah, it's
Baggers
up there
Race
right now.
Series.
Thoughts? Your thought on Baggers Race Series?
I think it's awesome. Again, it's bringing an attention to the Harley Davidson lifestyle that wasn't there before. Where forever Harleys were just known as the slow, prehistoric type machines that couldn't keep up with the metrics. They're building some pretty badass machines now, and I think that that's going to attract a younger crowd that's going to help Harley stay relevant for many more years. I mean, there's always been the concern that the older people are dying out, the younger people aren't coming in. I think the Bagger Racing League and groups of guys like East Coastin and Thrash and Supply, and I'm sure there's others out there that I'm not familiar with, that are bringing that younger, more performance culture into it. I think it's awesome. I've never actually been to a bagger race, but I just think it's pretty awesome.
Really? Huh. You never thought of like vending at one of them? Setting up shop at one of them?
No, I haven't. I don't know that it would be worth it with what we do, and stuff like that really gets expensive as far as what it costs us as a vendor to get there. And if I don't have the way of making the revenue, I don't know if it would be worth it to us or not. I'd have to look into it, but typically stuff like that doesn't work for the way our business is structured.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
you need
Just
a
spectators.
you need a lot
spectators
of people flowing through, right? And
Yeah, and they've
I've
got to
been
be there with their motorcycles, not just there to watch a race. They're going to be there with their motorcycles.
Right. Yeah, I've been
That's kind of
to
how it is.
2 of them in New Jersey that they have it down in Millville, and yeah, you're probably right. I mean, there are vendors there. I don't think they're they're not actually doing like maintenance or service and stuff like that. They're more like selling stuff. So
Yeah,
it probably isn't worth it for you. But it'd be cool
When we're
if
in
it was.
Daytona in the spring, when the motocross is going on, then there's people coming in and they want to get serviced and that kind of thing. So
Right.
It's a little bit different because they're already there for a bike week and then they're going to the motocross or they're going to the Daytona 200 or the bagger races or whatever else is going on at the speedway. So
Nice. The Kilted Coachman, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Hope you keep watching. Our channel has taken some twists and turns over the years. It didn't look like this when it started out. It was actually me and 2 of my friends, 2 other dudes, and then it became me and just 1 other dude. And then almost
2 years.
Almost 2 years now. George, who this was originally his idea, had to bow out just for personal reasons. So it was just me, and I figured if I had any chance of growing, nobody wanted to stare at my ugly face. So I figured I'd use my assets.
I'm being used and abused in this relationship.
Used my assets to try to grow a little bit. So it was a learning curve doing this by myself. When we started out, I had nothing at all to do with any of the editing because I am probably not very high or much further along in the IT world than Adam is. And I didn't want anything to do with it, to be honest with you. And George did it all. But when he said he was going to, had to leave, it was either fold up shop or keep going. And I enjoyed this too much. So I said, I'm just going to have to figure it out. So, but now I've added, something else to the channel. Hopefully it helps.
Something
the female perspective is what I'm referring to, you sick bastards.
you brought your better half in.
My better half, my smarter half, my better mechanic, the better looking one. I mean, we could go on all day. But yeah, and it's been fun. And the awesome thing about it is that I think she loves and enjoys going to the rallies just as much as I do. So unlike a lot of guys where they're like, their wives don't want to go, they don't want to ride with them, whatever. So it's going to be a hassle to get to rallies. She's totally down to do it. So it works out perfect for me and for the channel. So pretty awesome. But thank you for finding our channel through Adam. And that's kind of the whole point of this collab. So hopefully you keep watching. What else?
Now, the one thing that's been missing from your channel for a while, other than uh George, is you guys haven't done any of the beer tastings or beer reviews in a long, long time.
No, we haven't. And so here's
It is still
my,
Baggers and Brews.
it is. And I mean,
we forgot to even discuss.
Well,
what
somebody
we're drinking
asked.
tonight.
Somebody asked,
because we normally say it.
Yeah, no, Adam was talking. I didn't want to interrupt, but it is, and I mean, it will remain a passion, a part of it. And you're rarely going to see me on the channel without a drink, a beer, but it's what we did kind of learn. Unfortunately, was that those videos, they just didn't perform. They were terrible, and it's kind of hard to justify the editing time and the things like that for the video, and then just to get like 200 views when on normal videos you're getting thousands. So I'm trying to figure out, and I've talked to her about trying to figure out a way that we can kind of make it just like a really short, easy thing, because our reviews used to be George and I would just drag it out and it would be like a 15-minute review, which I don't think it needs to be. If we can figure out how to do them in less than 5 minutes, maybe even less than 3 minutes, and get some views. But it's just, again, this is like, it becomes a business after a while, and the time is important. So wasting time editing a video that no one ends up watching because they're not into the same kind of beer that I'm in is it's not worth it. So
makes sense.
We enjoyed it. George and I love doing it, and she likes beer as well. So her and I can do it. And maybe we'll try it, and maybe just because she's a girl, we'll get more views. But it's hard to justify the time and effort, and then to get no views.
Yeah, maybe it's just got to be a shorter segment within a longer video.
Yeah, and that's something we talked about too. Like, because when we do ride places, maybe we need to just incorporate that into like a normal riding type video. And yeah, you're probably right. We probably do need to do that more, because it is Baggers and Brews, and we definitely do love the craft beer, and I'm not the only one. Even with George and Austin gone, she enjoys it too. So
Cool.
Yeah, we'll have to figure out how to incorporate that more, because we definitely are Baggers and Brews.
I know another big question that everybody has been talking about this week is the Sturgis numbers.
I was just
and
about to
how
ask.
they felt it was down this year, and that sort of thing. So what's your take on the rally? Like, how did you guys do as far as people coming in and your numbers for the year? What do you think you did?
Yeah, from a vendor's perspective, we'd love to know that.
Yeah, so we've heard a lot of the negative stuff as well, and I hate to say it, I'm almost sick of hearing so much negative about the rally this year. It just seems like all anybody wants to talk about. And in my opinion, any of these rallies, they're going to be what you make them, right? If you want to come out here and have fun, you're going to come out here and have fun. If you want to come out here and be miserable, you're going to come out and be miserable. Sales were probably down for a lot of vendors. And if those vendors didn't expect that, then they're probably not keeping an eye on their business. I mean, as a business owner, we have always seen a drop in sales after a 5-year anniversary, every single time. And usually the year before an anniversary is a little bit of a slump too, because, if you're sitting here on the 84th anniversary going, should I go to Sturgis this year? You'd be like, no, I'll go next year because it's the 85th. I think that happens to a lot of people, maybe because they just think it's going to be a bigger, better thing. So we see that slump before an anniversary, and we see an even bigger slump usually the year after. So I know that some vendors didn't see the same numbers that they saw last year, but that should have been expected. Right? We didn't see the same numbers that we saw last year, but I wasn't trying to actually compare to last year. So I tried to compare to our 2024 numbers, and we actually beat our 2024. So in my book, we did well. I mean, we saw a significant 12% increase, I think it was, from 24.
Yeah.
Which is more than I expected. So I'm happy with that. I know that not all vendors are in that same boat. And here's where I think we differ. YouTube channel aside, we do market better than most vendors do, right? And just because of the channel. But also, there's a lot of vendors out there that are charging a lot of money for things that just aren't worth it, right? If you look at like what t-shirts cost, what food costs, it is expensive. And I've heard people about the price gouging, and there is an issue with price gouging at rallies, but it's always been that way. This year wasn't any different. It's not just at rallies, it's everywhere. Her and I were looking at hotel rooms to go see Glacier National Park between the rallies. $600 a night for a Best Western or a Super 8 room, right? That's price gouging. You know, there's no room that's worth that much money because it's the peak season. And it's the same thing in Sturgis. You're at the peak season for those hotels for that 2 weeks or a month that we're there. And yes, I think it's too expensive, but I don't think that was anything new that you could blame the turnout on this. I think where we differ is that we're providing a service that anybody who owns a motorcycle needs, right? You have to change the oil on it at some point. Well, I guess you don't have to. You could totally neglect your motorcycle, but
there's a special hell for people like that.
Yeah, but we're providing a service that most people find as a necessity, and we're doing it for a reduced cost. If you call a dealership to do what we do for $250, they're charging $400 to $600.
Say $650 if
Yeah.
you want AMSOIL.
So we're not price gouging anybody, and we'll still get the one guy here and there. This is all you're too much money. I'm like, I'm really not, but I understand if you don't want to do it, it's fine because there's 400 other people that we did take care of, you know. So I think that's where we differ. Sometimes when the t-shirt people are down on sales because there's 5,000 people selling t-shirts and they're all overpriced, to where there's only a couple of us doing what we do and we're being very reasonably priced. So we tend to see, we're not economy proof by any means, but we see that when people want to start pinching pennies, they look at it, they go, oh, if I do my oil change with Extreme Bikes, I'm saving money. I'm not spending money. I'm saving money because I have to do it. But if I can pay $250 instead of $500, I'm saving money. And I think that's where we tend to benefit a little bit more when the economy gets tough. But price gouging is definitely a thing. The other thing, not to get on a soapbox, but
There was one other thing
go ahead.
Too. The
Get
other
up
thing
there.
too is
Let's
that
go.
there was a couple other people too that were saying that school started that week that, you know, the full Sturgis was going on, even though we did a pre-rally.
Yeah.
You know, people always come in waves. And some people, you know, were there the week before pre-rally. And then there was less people during pre-rally. And then during rally, it was busier, but it wasn't as busy. So that's some of the like feedback that we heard from different people is that, well, you know, the teachers aren't out here bartending like they would be because they've got to be back in school because school is starting. So it's all in how you plan.
Yeah, the rally was a week late this year.
You know, and I
It will
think
be next year too.
Next year it's going to be exactly the same. So
Yeah, it's going to be
that,
like the 6th or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that means, hey, you want to go, you need to plan accordingly so that you can be there. We also let our, you know, clientele know we do the Deadwood 3-wheeler rally. We're sitting there a lot. We're a lot busier when we're in Rapid City, but we're at the Deadwood rally. They're going out on rides, so we're sitting there. And I even tell people, look, if you don't want to deal with the craziness of Sturgis, come then we'll take care of your oil because we're just sitting there, you know? So these are the things that I kind of think about, look at, and pay attention to when people are saying certain things. So food for thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will say I have a little bit of beef with people calling it price gouging because I don't believe it's price gouging because price gouging has a specific definition and this is not it. Price gouging is when companies raise the cost of essentials during crisis or critical times when you have no other choice. The Sturgis Motorcycle Rally is a luxury, and hotels and all those things for that are vacations are a luxury. So I don't really believe you can call it price gouging. I think it's supply and demand. I think it's capitalism. And you can call it, even someone commented corporate greed. You can call it that if you want, but I don't personally think it's price gouging because none of us need or have to go to Sturgis. It's a luxury, but you know, tomatoes, I guess. I don't know.
No, that's a very good point. I mean, like I said, we saw it at Glacier National Park and those surrounding cities that because it was peak season, they wanted more for a hotel room where you could get a Super 8 for $150 a night. Most places they wanted between $600 and $800 because it was peak season. So yeah, that's just supply and demand.
Well,
and I do understand that. I'd love to see it cheaper, but I do understand.
Yeah, of course. And people, it's not just Sturgis. It's not just motorcycle rallies. You know, Go to Ocean City, Maryland in the summer before the rally. See what the prices of hotels cost. It's a vacation spot on the beach in the summer. Those hotel rooms are all astronomical. They're probably cheaper for the rally than they are during the middle of July and in August, because it's a vacation spot. Go to Disney World, see what those prices cost. Go anywhere where people regularly vacation, and you're going to see the prices are drastically higher than when
and the
people
thing
are
is,
vacationing.
if they weren't getting people to pay for that stuff, their prices wouldn't be that high.
Yeah.
So that tells me that people are paying those prices because I guess they assume that they just don't have any other choice.
Yeah.
But they're getting the money. So that's why they charge it.
Yep, totally. And I mean, it sucks, but I mean, it's kind of that's a capitalistic market, and that's how it works. And the only way that those prices come down if people just don't pay it, and then you'll see it come back down. Obviously, we don't want it to see that happen in the case where it would like hurt a rally or destroy a rally, but I mean, it's the only way to control the market. The people control the market, so it is what it is.
True.
They do. And that's one of the reasons why we kind of suggest to them, like, if they come in, like I had a guy come in and he goes, it's only 2 drain holes. And I'm like, you're using our lift, our equipment, we're getting rid of this oil for you and we're changing it for you. And this guy didn't have but maybe 2,000 miles on an AMSO oil change, which with our filter, you're good for 10,000 miles or once a year. However, he felt he had to change it. So I was like, well, you do whatever you feel is comfortable for you. So if somebody says, hey, this is too much for me to be able to pay for, I'm like, well, here's your option. You get it wholesale and do it yourself at home. There's always options.
Exactly.
It's just a matter of whether you want to make that choice or not. Yes, this is a convenience out here.
Absolutely.
And you're getting a quality product, and you're getting great service, and you're not having to wait 6 or 7 hours to get the same service done, where your bike is monopolized and you can't come and ride somewhere because that's what you came for.
Right.
Because we hear that.
If I called my local dealer and said, hey, can I come in for an oil change or something? And it's Monday and they go, yeah, bring it in on Thursday. Now I got to rearrange my whole schedule, get it over there. So it is a major convenience when you guys are there at the rally to just pop in. I'm out riding anyway. Hey, can you change my oil? I'm in and out in an hour or two?
25 minutes if we're not slammed.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
People don't understand the price that's put on convenience. You know what I mean? Like it's not
for sure.
That's why you're going to pay, because you don't have to do anything and it's easy for you. It's no different than paying, it's the same reason they put those surcharges on like ATMs, because it's convenient and it's right there and they can do it instead of you having to go to your bank and withdraw the money. Like you go to an ATM, but they're paying for, the cost of that, and like people to put it there, buy the machine and put it there, and to have someone empty it, all those things like that you don't have to do. So
yeah, and I think sometimes people don't realize that, like Adam said, there are some vendors out here that are fly by night, but there's a lot of vendors that have been out here for years. This year in the fall will be Adam's 20th year in Daytona.
19th, I think.
No, it's 20. It was 19 last year.
Okay.
So this is anyway, so it's one of those things where it's like, I look at that. What's the longevity of the people you're with that you go to out here at all these different rallies? How long have they been there? Are they, because that's showing up for you as a client, because it's a lot of work to come out to these rallies. People don't realize, well, some do. Some of our YouTube subscribers know, because they follow us religiously. We had the tongue come off the trailer and we had to get it fixed. We weren't planning on that. So you kind of have to pivot and shift, just like you would with any other business. I don't think people realize that,
No, they don't.
We have people sometimes. Go ahead.
It all stems from, like it started during the COVID era when the prices started to skyrocket, and then they just kind of never stopped. And then, everybody's been paying these prices for so long and now, diesel prices are super high. So trucking around the country is very expensive. I'm sure you guys can attest to that, driving your truck all around the country, and that always adds to the cost of things. Yeah. So
we try to use the mud flap whenever we can. even the mud flaps, sometimes when it's like $6 a gallon, they're not even giving a lot of discounts either. So you have to pay this stuff to do what you need to do in order for you to run your business. This is the cost of doing business. And I just think
Exactly.
sometimes that people don't consider that. I've had people come in and try to go, oh, well, how much for the, the last day of the rally? And I'm like, this isn't milk. This isn't spoiling.
Yeah.
And or if I'm really annoyed, Carolyn, I will look and be like, do you go to Walmart and ask the manager for his wholesale list and tell him you're only paying that? Well, no. And I'm like, then don't do it to me, because this what we have is a fair price.
Oh,
and
That's funny.
just,
absolutely. And I could just
you know,
from the first time we ever came to you guys and we were talking about bikes and stuff, you really know your stuff, and like you're honest and you'll tell me straight up, like, this is how it is. And that means so much to me as a person who doesn't work on my own bike, to be able to trust you with the things you say that I need. Like, that means a lot.
thank you. We've even had a couple people where they're not due for a change. And just go put your helmet on and go throttle somewhere for another 6,000 miles, and then I'll change your oil. And they're like, "What? You're not?
Yeah.
You don't have to change it." It just
Yeah, they get amazed that we talk them out of a sale,
Right.
that happened a couple times, and they don't. They're like backing out of the tent, and they're just looking at us like, "Really?"
We decided a long time ago when we started our business that no matter what, whether we succeed or we fail, we're going to do it as honest as possible. And this one situation comes to mind that it happened back in, I don't know, probably 2007, 2008. I was servicing a motorcycle for a young lady in the shop in Orlando, and in the process of the service, her and I were talking, and she was talking about some new bike night that was going on down in like South Orlando, and I'd never heard of it, right? And then anyway, when I was done working on the motorcycle, Katie was paying her out at the, in the office, and sent her on her way. Well, as Katie was closing the books at the end of the day and she was doing the math, she realized, hey, we accidentally overcharged that girl by $5. And it was only $5, right? And I was like, okay, well, let's go give it to her. Then she said she was going to go to this bike night. So we literally got on our motorcycles and we drove to bike night. We walked around until we found her, and I handed her a $5 bill. And she just looked at me dumbfounded, like, what's this for? I'm like, we accidentally overcharged you. Here's your $5 back. And that was just like,
Wow.
she was a customer forever. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. I would be too.
But
Wow.
it just, in our mind, it wasn't our $5. You know what I mean? And it was just,
Yeah.
that's just the way we run our business. I mean, we have to make profit. We're running a business, but we try to do it honestly. I don't want to take any money from anybody that isn't deserved.
And you also don't want to sow karma either, because you don't want that
I know
coming
you
back
don't.
on you.
Right. And I know you don't do that just to gain business. But it does that for you. And we have the same thing locally with us. We have a shop right here, and they earned our trust and gained customers for life, because there's been multiple times where we've come in for something and they've either said we don't need that, or they've done something really minor and small for free and just sent us on our way, like things like that. I mean, you aren't a customer forever if you do something like that. So it's great.
Yeah, like tightening up your handlebars during bike week.
Exactly. That military biker, what's going on? So
That's important.
Somebody had a question. Oh, here. Adam inspired me to do a professional detailed bike wash over the basic sexy shit I see at the rallies. Would it be profitable?
I did. I answered part of that. I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
The bikinis will definitely bring you in money, because the guy, the bikers want to see a really pretty girl cleaning their bike. And when we had the bikini bike wash there that was in front of us for years, it was packed. Constantly packed. The one that they had this year was dead. They did not have, well, the first couple days they had girls in bikinis and stuff. And then I don't know what happened, but that they weren't there the rest of the show. And that was dead. So you can still have girls dress really well and do a bike wash, and still be somewhat covered. I think somebody told us the Full Throttle is having their waitresses be covered up or whatever now, because for whatever reason. So for me, it's like, if you want them out there cleaning, maybe have them do the pinup girl thing where they're in like one of those jumpers that button up or zip up that are in shorts.
Oh,
you know,
overall.
because
Like
it's
Stiffy
still,
style?
yeah,
Is that a
thank you.
Stiffy
But
style?
for shorts, you know what I mean? It would be really cute. And they could still be out there
Yeah.
and still make their money.
Yeah, you can be sexy without being slutty, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I say if you could do it, great. Biggest thing is having the insurance to cover anything that happens with bikes. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody
Personally
asked something
don't know
about
how you
Goliath.
really.
The what? The Goliath?
Somebody asked about Goliath.
Adam, tell us about Goliath. Was he your first rally truck, or did you start with the dually?
No, he's my third rally truck. He's truck number 3
Yep.
as we classify him. So when we started this, we had a Ford Excursion. Actually, if we really want to go way back, I had my Bronco.
His 93 inch
A little Bronco towing my tiny little trailer. Then we moved up to an Excursion that was gas. And then we moved up to the diesel Excursion, and then the dually. And then in 19 is when we started using Goliath. And that was a complete game changer. It gave us much better living capabilities while we're out on the road for these long stretches. And yeah, I love having Goliath. He's my buddy.
Right. He's my buddy. I'm just looking through the
Or my
comments
captor,
to
one of the two.
see.
After.
Maybe I just
So-
have Stockholm syndrome.
So we talked about like your thoughts on the rally numbers and whatnot, but do you think there's any other? So you don't get to see as much of the police presence, so you don't really probably know as much about those issues, or do you?
We did.
Not
we
at Sturgis, no.
We heard quite a bit going on. I know that there was 18 deaths during Sturgis, which
Yeah, but
was
we
live.
don't see it
This
is
year?
what he's saying. Where we're at. We're
Yeah.
not right there face to face.
No, we don't really see it because we're there working. We hear a lot of feedback from people.
Okay.
And we're friends with vendors that are all over the Sturgis area. So I mean, we get information from everybody, even if we're not there to see it.
When we went riding, what was it, Saturday night?
Mhm.
We went to the Silverado for the snow crabs or whatever in prime rib
In Deadwood.
Right. And literally I was in the truck with Brian's wife, and literally I'm just kind of like 1, 2, 3. I said, text them now and let them know they need to slow down, because they were like everywhere. I probably counted 10 between Sturgis and Deadwood that were just in different spots,
Right.
which kind of
know.
surprised me. I mean, we kind of stay in our own little bubble while we're there because we're just working so much. It's like, okay, let's go here and come back,
But here's the
Right.
thing is, I'm not trying to hate on the cops, though. I mean, you got to realize that when you get any kinds of large masses of people, especially hundreds of thousands of people together, drinking, partying, shenanigans are going to happen. You've got to have some kind of enforcement there. Otherwise, it
Yeah.
becomes pure chaos. Now, I've heard that they've been really nitpicking some stupid things, but I watched that one episode that Bob and Tam had put out where they spoke with the sheriff, and he said basically we're not going to hassle people for dumb stuff, but there are certain laws that you have to follow where we're going to cite you for it. But if you're not doing dumb stuff, I don't think you've got anything to worry about. I mean, I have never gone to a bike week and been hassled by a cop in my life because I'm not
Same.
trying to do stupid stuff.
Yep.
So
I
the other
agree.
thing I'll answer real quick. For those who don't know about Goliath, Goliath is a 1987 GMC General, and it started out as a dump truck, and then it was made into an RV. It didn't come that way because somebody asked.
Hand built.
Hand built in Canada. It's in kilometers.
Yeah, he's Canadian, eh?
He is Canadian, eh? So I just wanted to answer that real quick. And it's about 380 square feet inside that we live in 9 months out of the year off and on.
So the box is 38 feet.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's got everything in it. So living room, a full kitchen, a 3-piece bath. It has our bedroom. We have storage underneath. So for us, it's great.
I'm away from home.
Yeah,
You
I don't have
so
the
much room
hassles
for
of.
activities.
Oh yeah. And don't have to worry about slide outs because I don't have that nightmare. So, but it's our home away from home. So we
So
really
you got a fan up here. I don't know if you can see the question on the screen, but it says, Adam, now that you're jacked, have you thought about doing oil changes shirtless?
How about no?
I think Katie deserves to see that.
Katie
I'm
should
just
oil you
saying.
up.
And
She
then
doesn't like
she
seeing me
can
without a
film.
shirt either.
Oh, I don't mind
She
seeing
can
you without a
film
shirt.
you.
I don't mind seeing you naked. It doesn't bother me at
I
all.
don't know about jacked. I'm far from jacked.
So what else do we got here?
And the
Sorry
other
about-
question too, 18 deaths. That
Sorry.
is not normal for this year for Sturgis. No.
So is that
That's a
all
lot.
motorcycle deaths?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you noticed when you came to see us in at Rapid City, but they didn't have the stoplight out there. That's at the stop sign, the stop sign, then you turn left
Yes.
and then you
Yes.
go get
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
highway.
Yeah.
The city decided not to put that there for whatever reason, and a
Right.
guy turned out in front of a car coming over the hill and he got knocked off his bike. He got his femur broken. So
Oh.
it's like, and I've had a couple people almost pull out in front of me when I was going with the truck, and I wasn't speeding. I was just trying to get through to get to the next, to come in the back way to be able to park. And literally they're just
Right.
pulling right out of there, not paying attention. So, people get hurt when they don't pay attention.
Yeah,
Very
absolutely.
true.
So here's a question. What is harder? Setting everything up or tearing everything down at the end when you're tired?
I think setting up is.
Yeah,
a
I'm gonna
lot
say
worse.
setup. Setup's a lot worse.
You're using gravity when you're breaking down. And you're having to me, it just seems like more work because you're having to pull totes out and then get them where you need to get them. And then they're empty when you put them away. They're empty when you take them out. So to fill them back up if there's stuff to fill up or whatever. Even taking off the awning, I think is a little bit easier because we're just pushing it right up to him. The wind sometimes works in our favor to have the awnings go towards them so that they can pack them up quickly. You don't have as much inventory, so you don't have as much you have to tote around.
Right.
So for me, I think breaking down is easier. And I literally start like a day or two before.
Okay.
I'm already going, okay, if I can put this over here, I don't have to worry about it for later. Or if, I can put this away because not that specific thing didn't sell at the rally, so I can put it away.
Now, I'd say the exception to that is some of the shows where we work on a Sunday and have to tear down on a Sunday and we get a busy day. So like this year in Sturgis, Saturday was pretty slow, so it wasn't a big deal. We were done breaking down by 2:30 or 3:00. But now you take shows like Galveston where we have to be open until 4:00. And if it's busy, sometimes we got customers there until 5, sometimes 6, and we have to clear the street by 10 p.m. So then like the pressure's on to pack it all up quickly. And that does get a little bit stressful, especially when you've already been working all day and you're kind of tired.
I bet. This question's for you. And this was asked on one of our videos, I believe, from Tater Dooley. So you're going to do the white 2-piece on the Super Glide. And we both said, we have no idea what you're talking about. Do you
Sounds
know
like a
what he's
bathing
talking
suit to
about?
me.
That's what we
Well,
thought.
that's
but
a definite no.
but I
then,
think he
too,
said no.
but-
He was talking about something else. And I don't, you got
I
to
thought he was
clarify.
talking about pipes. We
He
were
said
like, are
something.
there white pipes?
I don't know, but you're gonna have to clarify what that means because neither of us have any clue what you're talking about, and apparently neither does Adam. So,
Yeah, to me, it sounds like he wants to see Carolyn in a red, white, and blue bathing suit. Bikini.
Well, that's what I thought as well, but he denied that. So,
You can
That
make a
was never
calendar and
Adam.
sell it, Carolyn.
Oh no, I think that ship sailed 20 years ago.
so tearing everything down is tougher for me because I'm beat and ready to get on the road. Brian? What are you tearing down? Were you a vendor at the rallies?
He's our
Let us
sales
know.
guy at the thrashing tent.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
actually like
that's Brian. Okay,
He's literally
All right.
like,
he's actually like 50
He-
feet from us, but he's online and not here in front of the
He's
camera.
trolling you.
he is trolling.
All right.
That's why I'm like,
I didn't
quit
know
your
it was that
whining.
Brian. Okay, hold on.
Well, I think from a rally goer's perspective this year, I did feel like the numbers were down a little bit, but I was totally fine with that because that meant less bikes on the road, less lines at the beer tent, and less people
Yeah.
in the crowded sections of walking around
Yeah.
downtown. So for me, it was great.
Yeah, since we started this channel, every rally we go to, people are always talking about the numbers and stuff. And I'm like, I'm not selling anything and making a living off of it. So very different opinion than you guys, but I'm like, I don't care. Like there was enough people there and enough bikes there for me, for the vibe was great. There's motorcycles, there's concerts, there's people, there's beer, there's food. Like I'm good. Like I don't monitor the numbers like that. I don't know why people that aren't in a position that you guys are in give a crap about that. Like they're constantly worrying about that. And I find that it's one of two things. It's either, oh, there was nobody there, it was dead this year, or oh, there's way too many people. I hate people. I don't want to go. It's just, like you can't make people happy. They're like they got something to
This
complain
is
about.
very, very
way.
true. We deal with that when we go to Leesburg, because Adam's just filming. That's the only rally we go to where we're not vending. So we go and catch up with all of our friends. We, Adam will film for them to let people know that they're there if they're needing to get something and this kind of thing. And, because there's some rallies we just will not go to because they are too expensive for the short amount of time that people are there.
Right.
From that perspective, because we have been there. I have a friend of mine, and I remember him telling me, I wish you would go do Leesburg. It's busy here. You could make money, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I'm going to count to 60. Tell me how many bags you're seeing. And I said, okay, how many did you see? He goes, 3. I said, do you think the vendors are making money? They're still paying to be there, but no one's buying, which means they're being affected.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing that we look at it as a rally, is that how many bags? If you can look across a parking lot and nobody is carrying any bags, they're not spending money, which means the vendors aren't doing well. And if a vendor is on the verge of not being able to come back, that'll make or break their business. We saw a lot of people clear out during COVID because of that, because they had no planning. And then people come back and be like, oh, so-and-so is not here. I'm like, they went under. You can only survive out here if you're making money. It's just like any other business. And I don't think that people take that into consideration.
And the other part of that is how much are the people that own the spots charging you? Is it more and more every year?
Oh God,
they're charging you to be there.
Constantly going up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you get the customers going, oh my gosh, your prices went up. And I'm like, most of them are pretty understanding. And I hate to even say this, but I noticed the people that don't put as much care into taking care of their bikes, the ones that complain the most. And it's like,
I can see that.
You know what I mean? It's like,
see that.
This is a luxury item. However, for some people, like for Brian, that's his car. I mean, that's what he travels in everywhere. So he takes care of that because he needs it to keep running, not just to get him wherever we need him, but when he's home. So it's a different perspective, I guess, that people don't consider. They don't consider the other side of the coin sometimes.
Now, I guess if you're just going to a bike week to party and have fun, the numbers would affect you, because if you think that you need to have everybody there to have fun, maybe it would seem maybe more of a fun party. But I think that if you look at it realistically, as an individual at a motorcycle rally, if there's 20,000 people there or 100,000 people there, you're not gonna integrate with everybody, right? You're not gonna have that one-on-one with every person there. So what does it matter if you're only going to associate with the group that you came with, or maybe meet a couple new people? Who cares how many people are there? So I agree with what Carolyn is saying. And from a business perspective, it is somewhat of a numbers game. Like we don't like to do small rallies. I mean, we're going to go try this Wisconsin Dells thing just to see how it is, because it was on the way and it made sense. But like, I wouldn't drive across the country to go to a rally that only brings out 3,000 people, because thinking percentage wise, I'm probably not going to be able to service enough motorcycles there unless I get all 300 of them, which is extremely unlikely. Right. But like with Sturgis, if you get hundreds of thousands of people there, I don't know what the actual numbers were this year, but let's just say it was 400,000, right? I can't service 400,000 people. We service just shy of 500 motorcycles. So it doesn't matter to me whether 300,000 or 400,000 showed up. As long as 500 of them came to me, that's all I need,
Yeah.
That's all we're sometimes capable of doing. I mean, we're just, and that's with all vendors. Some vendors are just kind of like, I'm closing my doors. I just can't do anymore, So we had people showing
Yeah, I don't
up
think people.
on Sunday, and I'm like, everything is packed.
Ooh. Oh,
Mm.
sorry. Next time.
Yeah.
I don't think.
You know-
Also, like you're at Sturgis, right? It's not all centralized. That not everybody's in one spot at a time. Like you're spread out all over an entire region, enjoying the
Mhm.
roads, riding all the surrounding towns. So it's never going to feel like you got 500,000 people in a big field, like all together.
No.
Like it's. So I don't understand what the concern is and what the big deal is. Like we had a blast. Yes, we noticed it looked like there was probably less people, but it didn't affect the amount of fun we had. You know.
Yeah.
So,
I think if people would just focus on having a good time, because that's what you're there to do, even though it's spread out over 5 states or whatever it is. Just
right.
enjoy the journey.
Yep.
Do what you can in the time you're allotted, and just enjoy it.
Somebody had a question for you. Oh, Street Glide 0922 is wondering about love jugs. He said, tell us about the love jug story. It seems like you're not pushing for selling as many this year. Is that the case, or is that just?
It's not that I'm not pushing. The sales on love jugs have declined, to be completely honest, and there's a lot of factors that are going into that. And I'm trying to work on some of them. It's there's been some challenges, and some of them I just don't want to really get into on video
Right.
per se, but we're trying to overcome some of those hurdles that are slowing down those sales. And I'll be honest, I mean, now that I own one of the new bikes, we're not seeing the overheating problem with the new motorcycle. I've got a handful of people that say they still want love jugs for it, but I think it's because they think they want love jugs. It's
Right.
not because the bike's overheating. They're feeling heat between their legs. There's an engine between their legs. That's never going to go away. But the bike itself isn't.
I'm trying not to laugh when he's saying that too. So.
Yeah. But the thing is, the bike so far really hasn't been overheating. But yeah, and I'm working on new models, and I'm hoping that we're working on having a new website built at the moment so that it's going to be more updated. And there's been challenges there with like people that we've hired to do the website that have just dropped the ball, and like one company took like a year and like then just basically said, no, we can't do this. And then we had to find another company, and it's been a pain in the butt. But yeah, we're going through a rebranding right now and a launch of some new products that I've been working on. And hopefully when all those pieces fall into place, we'll see a little bit of a resurgence there. It's still a great product. It's just going through a little bit of a slump at the moment. And unfortunately, we've had a couple of people knocking us off. There's companies out there that have basically just flat out stolen the design. Like they bought a unit from me and then sent it to China and had them remake it and are selling it for like 2/3 the price.
Wow.
No R&D, no real work put into it, no science, just here, copy this one. And then they want to complain that our price is too high. Well, it's because we spent all that money in R&D and research, you know?
Yeah, we don't know how long those other models are going to last. We know.
So if you're going to buy fans, buy legitimate love jugs. You're the only legitimate fan company, dual fan company out there. Everyone else is just stealing our technology and our science.
Exactly. I agree.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, I'm just rolling through these comments to see if there's any questions.
Yeah, I've been trying to answer them too as we're going along.
How many rallies do you do in a year?
This year is 13, I think, now that we added the Wisconsin Dells.
Oh, wow.
We used to do a lot more, but after COVID, we scaled back considerably.
Yeah, but that's more than one a month. That seems like a lot.
Yeah.
Well, like in October, we do like 4. Right? Because we're finishing up Smoky Mountain, then we do Daytona, Panama, and Texas.
Well, Texas is technically
November, but still.
Yeah, some of them run together. Some of them we got time in between. Like this trip alone, we've already been out almost 3 months. We left home on June 7th. And even though it's only been 1, 2, 3 shows, it's just the way the trip has taken us. We got some time in between, and then we've got 2 more shows before we get home. It'll be over 3 months by the time we get home.
And we went to the A-Bait rally in Iowa.
Yeah, it didn't work. We just kind of hung out there and filmed and got in trouble.
He got kicked off of YouTube for a week.
Huh? You got kicked off of YouTube for a week.
Yeah, so I filmed. when I tried to make the point that I'm sure there was no nudity or, things in there that was inappropriate, but somehow maybe there's something I missed and the algorithm caught it. I watched the video and I asked for a review. I don't know if you've ever had to do that yet or not, but the first denial was from the computer system, the algorithm saying, "Oh, this doesn't meet our standards." So then you can request a manual review. So a person actually watched the video and then they told me, "Okay, you can post it, but it's probably not going to get much monetization because advertisers don't like this type of content," which I thought was BS, right? But I was like, okay, at least I can post it. People can see what happened at the rally. So I went ahead and made the video public, and then I went to bed. I woke up the next morning. We started driving to South Dakota, and next thing I know, I've got these emails saying that I've been banned for 7 days and that the video has been pulled down, and basically a big slap on the wrist. And if I do it again, that they're going to delete my channel, kind of thing.
They deleted his TikTok channel.
Yeah.
For something that was.
And I don't even know why. I was just told because it was sexually gratifying content. I'm like, I saw nothing sexually gratifying in it, so I don't understand where it actually came from. And they won't tell me, and the video's gone. So
yeah, he was filming a concert in the dark, and apparently the algorithm picked up nudity, and they just took his
we
channel.
didn't even know it was nudity. They never specified what
Yes,
it was that was the problem.
Talon ended up being on the phone with them and trying to
inappropriate content. Never.
We never
I love his beard.
Ever.
You know how like people have those balls they play with, and I know what y'all are thinking, but you just sit there and you do this with
You
them
wanna
for
play with
stress.
balls.
This is
This
his
is
beard.
not that kind of channel.
We'll turn the camera off right now.
Children watching. He's trying to get my shit banned for 7 days. So, here's a question. What's the craziest thing you witnessed while working a motorcycle rally?
I'm probably gonna say a bulldog humping a woman in the parking lot.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Oh, that's exciting.
I mean, 2 climax. He left the wet spot
on video.
No, this is
What?
pre-YouTube days. Pre-YouTube. We were just flabbergasted that it was happening. The dog was just horny and tried to hump a couple of things, right? And the lady was laughing, and while she was laughing, the dog mounted her and tried to hump it. Like,
She was drunk.
yeah, and she was just laughing, thinking it was funny, and the dog finished on the side of her leg,
That is disgusting.
and she just laughed. I'm like, that's disgusting.
Yeah, very.
Funny, but disgusting.
This is disgusting. Have you ever worked a rally where you finished and thought, I'm never doing that one again?
Yes.
Do you,
What-
are you
Something tells me
are you
guys
allowed
There's been
to
a couple,
say
actually.
what?
Let's just say we're not going back to Nashville anytime soon.
Yeah, Nashville just was terrible last year.
What rally was that?
So I don't want to call it a rally. It was an event at a dealership. So Boswell's Harley Davidson, just outside of Nashville, had this event last year. And normally, like I said, I don't do these small events. Doesn't make a lot of sense for us. But we were on our way to Laconia. From our house, we could go to Nashville and just kind of barely go out of the way to get to Laconia. And a friend of ours was hosting the rally or like helping promote it. So we were more trying to do him a favor. And because Katie is an absolutely terrible negotiator, she paid way too much money for us to be at this rally.
Yep.
And we just barely covered the rent and sales, but we actually lost money because we still had to pay Alan, we still had fuel costs and all this other stuff. So it was awful. We just sat around for days in the rain, bored out of our minds.
Oh.
And the other one
The
would
other
have
one.
been Harley Rendezvous. Yeah, we did Harley Rendezvous, which is another kind of naked camping party,
yep.
and it just wasn't our scene. We didn't make very much money. Luckily, the rent was cheap, so we didn't lose money. But it just, I don't know, just wasn't our scene watching guys walk around with things hanging out that we didn't
With
really.
just chaps.
Yeah.
Adam's like, I could have gone my
With
whole
what?
life without seeing that.
Yeah, a guy was wearing
Assless
nothing
cha-
but
they're all
chaps.
assless.
Yeah, but that's all he was wearing was
Ooh.
chaps. That's it.
It's like, why bother?
I'm like, yeah, I just.
Stevie in the
I mean-
comments just perked up.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Like if you're into that, fine, go to it. It's just not my thing, so I didn't really want to go see it. Um,
Oh,
and all the people that were naked were people I'd probably rather not see naked.
That's usually the case.
Yeah.
yeah, no shit.
Yeah, it's not like they're supermodels running around naked. It's always. I'm gonna shut up right now.
So
I don't want
here's
to
a
offend
question.
anybody.
Here's a question
every
I
time
have.
I go to all these nude events, it's always
Here's a question, a YouTube related question.
Okay.
Two-part question. A, do you get a lot of hate in your comments?
Yes.
I wouldn't say a lot. We do get an
B, is it
occasional
because
hate.
is most of the hate related to showing women?
No. Every once in a
okay.
while, I'll get somebody that makes a comment. I get more positive feedback about what's
That's
seen in the
encouraging.
channel, right?
So,
but
so
then
what
in
kind of
mind,
hate do you get?
I get
That one guy that God, he's been
That one
hounding you for
well, all
6
right.
years.
So I've got this one viewer named Wayne Bishop who's actually been very, very kind lately. But there was a period of time where he would just hate on my videos, but like the last couple of videos, he's absolutely loved and given me praise on. So I don't want to throw him under the bus anymore. He's been really, really nice lately. But I'll get the dumb stuff sometimes. Like one guy left a comment once complaining, or he wasn't complaining. He was commenting about me complaining about sales being down, and I wasn't complaining. I just kind of give this recap that sales weren't what we wanted them to be. But then, like poking fun at me because I just went out and bought a brand new Road Glide, and then I complained about sales not doing good. I'm like, well, one has nothing to do with the other. The sales at this show doesn't mean I can't afford a Road Glide. I mean, you can't know what my personal finances are. I mean, business is up sometimes, it's down sometimes. So sometimes people just kind of talk like asinine comments and don't really understand what's going on. Sometimes I just ignore them. Other times I'm like, thanks for watching. And sometimes I'll comment like very sarcastically. And if it's really special, I'll make a video on it and throw them under the bus completely because that is more fun to me.
True story. And we've heard stuff from people sometimes like, I'll be honest, Texas is not one of my favorites because it's brutal. I mean, we literally, to get set up, we have to get up at 5 a.m. and park on a side road to get into our parking spot by 7 a.m. And then we set up, have to wait for electric to come. And then the day that we get done, we have to get off the seawall. And it's a lot of work in a very short period of time. And we've had people say, well, why do you come here? Because we have subscribers there. We still have clients there. We still enjoy coming to see those people. However, business wise, it doesn't always make sense. So it's like trying to figure things out. Like this year we'll be doing the thrashing trailer. And like I told him, I said, I think that we should move to a different lot only because they want to separate our regular rig with our thrashing rig. And I'm like, how are you going to walk 300 feet away to do something to come back to move bikes up and down? I said, it just doesn't make any sense. Right. So those are the kind of things I look at. And it's like, I don't think people think about these things.
Did you guys see the fork in the road there? Yeah,
yes.
He's talking about the thrashing trailer instead of the actual question.
Go ahead.
But I think that sometimes people take me just commenting about things and describing what we're doing as complaining. And I really don't complain. You can ask Katie. I almost never complain.
No, but
things don't always work the way I want them to. But in the videos, I'm trying to explain what we're dealing with. It's not really complaining. It's just explaining this is the situation. Here's how we're going to handle it. And people are like, well, you shouldn't complain. I'm like, well, I wasn't complaining. I was just informing you on how it's happening,
And that was one of the reasons why I brought that up is Texas. They're like, why do you come here then? And it's like, you're missing the whole point.
Yeah, because it's our business. That's why we come.
Yeah. Why does Walmart come to your neighborhood? Because it's a business and they want to do their business there. So
right.
I don't think people pay attention to these kind of things.
Yeah, people.
What else we got?
So what rally is best for you for the business and what rally's best for you for YouTube, and are they the same or different?
So Daytona Spring and Sturgis are definitely the best financial ones. Lately, it's been Sturgis. For many years, Daytona was better than Sturgis, but it's kind of flip flop. But we get more days in Sturgis as well, so we tend to do more sales there. As far as personally, the ones that we like doing, again, Sturgis. We love being out west, Sturgis and Deadwood, just because we like being in that area. The motorcycle riding is good. The weather's always pretty nice for the most part, so we really enjoy being there. I like Laconia as well. Katie doesn't like Laconia as much, but I like the riding there.
I like the people there.
It very much reminds me of home, where we live in the North Carolina mountains, so it's cozy. The beach rallies, sometimes they're good for business, but there's no good riding. I mean, Daytona, Myrtle,
Yeah.
Panama, there's no riding. I mean, it's just a beach rally.
Yeah.
Same thing with Galveston. There's no riding in that part of Texas. It's just
Yeah,
just a rally.
I love riding there. It's just getting there because that's the only show that we do. And my God, those roads are garbage.
Yeah, it's a long way there and a long
It's
way
a
back.
long way there and back, and we travel at nighttime. We flip flop our schedule from day to night to get there at nighttime to not have to deal with traffic. And it beats the crap out of everything, and
As far as travel expenses go and rent, it costs us just as much to do Laconia as it does to do Sturgis, but we double the sales in Sturgis that we do in Laconia. So it's not as profitable.
Ocean City's another one that's very expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Huh. I could see that, I guess. Somebody
The
asked.
rent in Ocean City is actually, they want more money in Ocean City for me to do sales for 5 days than I pay in Sturgis for 15 days.
What?
Wow.
And,
We do not make those
Oh,
sales.
and Galveston's the same way.
Crap. Really?
Yep. And I
That
only
is
do a third of the
wild.
sales.
Yeah.
But sometimes, again, it's greed. They're getting greedy. They charge more for rent for 5 days than what I could pay for 6 months at a shop
Yeah.
somewhere sometimes.
Even like the electric is ridiculous. There's some places that they want like $400 for 3 days. I'm like, I don't pay that at home for 30. Are you on crack?
Yeah, sometimes it's even more.
Right.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Jeez.
It really is.
So
It's
electric
crazy.
is separate from like the actual space?
Sometimes, not always, but most times, yes. If we want anything more than like a regular 10 amp or a 15 amp plug, actually most times it's 20 amp, but just a regular 110 extension cord, a lot of times that will be included. If I want anything above that, they charge me more. So Goliath uses a 50 amp split phase, like a Nemo 1450 plug. And for me to add that, they want to charge me another $500 for the event to have that plug. Even though I don't use that much power, that's just what the truck plugs into, and it's the available power.
Yeah.
That's
I think
ridiculous.
this comment is for Carolyn, I believe.
Oh, Iowa Hog Rider. Hi, Brad, and we're sorry. On our way home,
Yeah.
we drove through Iowa, and we stopped at a KOA in Waterloo, Iowa. And sure enough, Brad, who we hung out with at the rally, stayed at our hotel, lives in Waterloo, Iowa. And he was home before we left, so we didn't get in until I think we got in at
It was
11
late.
o'clock that night. So it was late. We wouldn't have had time to go anywhere with him. But he's a little bitter that we didn't.
He's bitter. Listen to me, pal. After 200 miles on that Route 20 or whatever that was, you should be thankful that I still talk to you, because that was one of the worst roads I've ever ridden in my life. I bounced down that road for 200 miles. I think I got a traumatic brain injury from that, and I dislocated a rib. That road is ridiculous, and you guys need to figure that out. We have put people in space. We have sent people to the depths of the ocean, and we have self-driving cars. And you people in Iowa can't make a road that doesn't cause physical harm to your body. So
Same in New England,
you're lucky
though.
I'm still
I mean,
talking to you.
that's the same thing in New England. I mean, that's why we travel at night.
Whoa.
There is another question here, though. I want to read if I could.
Go ahead. No, go for it.
So serious question. This is from the Kilted Coachman 3260. Why don't all of you influencers make every rally a biker con convention and have a night where you all show up for a party like Bob and Tam and Cycle Drag and others? I will answer that because we are working YouTubers. We're not just, and no offense to anyone who's a YouTuber, obviously not to you guys. a lot of YouTubers do a meet and greet, or they'll go do a ride, which is great. The minute we walk out the door, we are meeting and greeting, and we're working at the same time. So it's like 15, 16 days of like almost 12-hour days that we were in Sturgis. Some people, we had a guy there, we weren't even set up. We didn't have the awnings up. He sat there till the lift came out and the oil was available to get his oil change. He sat there on his bike and waited. So, and he just watched us and talked to us and everything else. So we have gone after hours to kickstands one time when it was pouring rain.
Yeah, we were there with Monkey and
Yeah, we were with Professional Monkey, Mr. and Mrs. Thumper.
yeah, Military Biker was there. I think there's a few there, but
Bob and Tam were there, but
I
they
got
left.
Bob.
And we don't always get the chance to be able to do that because we're working,
Yeah.
and that has to come first.
yeah, we don't schedule meet and greets. We literally met and greet hundreds of our subscribers and viewers while we were there for
Yes.
15 days.
Yeah.
Hundreds.
Constantly.
Yeah.
You know, we have people coming, like we had people coming from New Zealand and Scotland and somebody from Kuwait.
And as cool as you think we are, truth is when they do those meet and greet things where they try to get all those YouTubers together, I never even get an invite. I'm not big enough.
Yeah.
No one knows who I am. Those are all for those really big people with
Yeah.
like Monkey, you know, people with 100,000 subscribers or more or whatever, you know,
Yeah.
us small timers, we don't get invited to that stuff.
I
And it's
don't
fine
even-
because it's
I don't
always
get
during the day
invited
when
to
I'm
stuff
working
either.
anyways.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see them. We'll see Professional Monkey like when we were in Leesburg because we weren't working.
He didn't come see us this year. He was in the lot talking to Paul at the fairing exchange and never came and saw us this year.
Okay, you're fired.
That rat bastard.
How dare he?
Yeah.
I'll have to put some
I
more
didn't see him either.
ex-girlfriend in his trailer.
And I shot him text and he ignored me too. So it's pretty messed up,
Yeah.
Monkey. Messed up. I
How
don't
dare
agree with this comment. Brian said that's why Sturgis died out early this year. They priced everything out of staying for. I don't agree with that at all because you don't book a trip to Sturgis, pay for a hotel, take the time to come out there, take time off, come out, and then leave early because the beers and the food were expensive. And who does that? Nobody does that. So I don't agree. I don't believe that's the reason it died out early.
I think the timing of bad weather.
I
and the
don't
rain
agree
might
either.
have aided that, but
So here's a question because we're going to do a video. Obviously, you've seen everybody and their brothers got a video out now about all the YouTubers about how the rally was down and all their negative reasons for. How big now and how important now is the pre-rally business for you guys?
It's usually been pretty good. It's definitely well worth doing.
Yeah, but have you over the
100%.
years have you noticed that increasing over the years?
Yes, it definitely has. Like I said, this year was a little bit slower, but year after anniversary. But last year pre-rally was insane, and even the year before that was pretty darn good.
And you got to
Yeah.
understand too, there's some vendors who are vending for 30 days in certain areas where they're able to. So, you know, looking at them and how they did as well should be added into the equation. And as far as like beer and cheeseburgers and that kind of thing being expensive or hotels, don't go and spend your money at those places. I mean, nobody puts a gun to your head and says you have to spend this kind of money. Go eat
Exactly.
somewhere and then go have a beer. Pay for one beer just to socialize with your friends. Save that money. A lot of people, even during the 75th, were in Rapid City and they weren't paying the retarded amount of money that people were paying out in Sturgis. You know what I mean? So
Right. No,
I think that, you know,
it really
pick
is
your
like, yes.
battles.
mhm.
You know, pick your battles,
Definitely.
pick your poison. And to me, it's like, and I heard this too from other people, it's like, my God, it's $25 for this, that, and the other. Okay, that's a negative. How can you make it a positive? Don't eat there.
Yeah.
You know, save your money, go somewhere where you really want to go eat, and you can still get a quality cheeseburger somewhere else. It doesn't have to be there.
Yeah.
There was a couple people I think that we met up with, and instead of me eating there or drinking there, like Adam would go with, I can't remember. The guys went to like Old Chicago Pizzeria, and we're carnivore. We're not doing that. So Adam ate first, then he had an unsweet tea. So that cut his bill way down because he
Yeah.
ate first before he went. He's still visiting with everybody and hanging out. You know, it's a choice. That's what it all
Right.
comes down to. It's
No,
a
I
choice.
definitely think there's choices and there's places, and you got to pick and choose. Like we went to one place, Latin American, right? And we like to hang out there and just people watch. It's a good spot to sit right along the road and watch the bikes and the people. But
Right.
the beer that she liked, which is not really, it's this beer, they wanted $10 for it. And we didn't know that until after the fact, but we're like, okay, so we're not gonna come back here and hang out here to drink those because obviously that's crazy. But there were other places. I went to Full Throttle and they offered me, well, they upsold me, but they had a big giant glass mug that's like, I don't know what it is. It's close to like 32 ounces, I think. And you can get that filled for $20 with like, I got a craft beer, an IPA in that, and then every refill was $8. So $8 in that giant ass mug is actually a really good deal. I can't even get that here, like in my local bar. So it really just depends where you go. If you go someplace where they're charging a crazy number, don't stay there. Go somewhere else. There's plenty of places to go.
It's kind of like the root beer people in Ocean City, and I really haven't seen anybody in a while doing that. But they do have that where you buy the mug and then you get free refills for the rest of the show or whatever. Because they do it in Texas, they do it in Ocean City.
Yeah, Wild Bill's.
That's the only two places that I've seen it.
But I mean, and I heard a lot of people say that down at Gas Monkey Garage, they had really cheap beers. They had like I can't remember, it was $5 beer, something like that, and they were like 16 ounces, so it was like a really good deal. Like you can't cry about the ones that are expensive if you haven't just tried to find other places, because there's plenty of decent deals. I mean, let's be honest, things aren't. I don't know where. I guess some people live in some real podunk places where it's everything's super cheap, but we're not like blown away by prices at Sturgis. We live in New Jersey. I mean, like
every day.
Yeah,
I go anywhere around here, it's going to be a $20 burger. Yeah. So a $20 burger in Sturgis is like, oh my god, like that's just the way it is. It sucks, but everything's expensive nowadays. It's just how it is.
We heard that when we were in Daytona in the spring. We had people going, "You're charging tax," and I knew. I was like, "They're from Laconia," and I said, "Yes, most states do, other than just I think 2. Yeah. We're from New Hampshire," and I'm like, "And you're one of them." Yeah. Everywhere else charges taxes, and they were like kind of having a fit about the taxes, and I'm like, you could go to Arkansas, it's 9.75. Yeah. If you go to Oklahoma, it's 14.75, and they're like, "Are you kidding?" I'm like, "No." So I'll stick around my little 7.5 in Daytona and my 8% in Rapid City. Yeah, good grief. And that's another thing that's kind of funny. You have people doing that. How much is the cash price? The same with the tax. Well, why do I have to pay tax? Because I have to pay it. I'm running a business. I want to continue running my business.
Oh my gosh.
One thing I want to point out is I saw on a couple of other people's vlogs that they were saying some of the reason the rally was down. And actually, I was watching Her Two Wheels last night. It was a video she had. And I don't necessarily know that she agreed with this, but it was kind of one of those things that she'd heard, that people are saying that they feel like the Sturgis rally has become too corporate or too commercialized. And I gotta disagree with that, because it's not that there aren't corporations there, right? I know that Harley has, marketed very well for it, and yeah, that would be corporate America. But when you look at the rally itself and all the vendors that come there, I'd have to say that 95% of us are mom and pops. I mean, we own our business, just her and I. Yeah. Every other vendor that I know owns their business. There's a couple companies like Zero and, Performance Machine that are bigger companies, but they're not corporate America big companies, right? They're not.
No, they're not
conglomerates. They're still small businesses, even though they might be corporations. So I don't see the whole, it just become too corporate. And I think that's a BS excuse, because it's really 90% mom and pops.
It is a BS excuse. And Zero, I think what happens is people get so used to seeing these names within our community, the motorcycle community, some of these businesses like Zero and whatnot, or what's the other the other lighting company?
Custom Dynamics.
Like you're so used to seeing them, and they're such a big player in our industry that you think there's some big corporation. They're not. Zero
No.
has a handful of employees. It's a small company, and
Yeah.
and that's the case with most of these parts companies that we get so used to seeing their names, and you think there's just some big company because you're seeing them advertised all the time on your Instagram or Facebook feed, but they're not big companies. Almost
just
all of
working
them,
hard.
sort of, Harley and Indian, and maybe a couple other companies. They're all pretty small companies in the grand scheme of
Yeah.
things.
And
Yeah,
even you
so-
look at the companies that like we represent, I mean, Amsoil is probably the biggest of them. It's still a relatively small company in comparison. I mean, it's no McDonald's or Harley Davidson Corporation.
Right.
It's a small business out of Superior, Wisconsin, Love Jugs. I mean, hell, Love Jugs, we're just a 4-man company. We relatively low volume, even Thrash and Supply. They're not a big company. We represent small companies as a small company ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people are in the comments are saying, the weather was an excuse for people to leave early and save money. I don't really see how that saves you money if you booked a hotel or a campground and
Yes.
paid for it and you're not getting that money back. Like, you kind of lost money if you left early. I mean,
Yeah.
if you can't figure out how to eat and drink without like putting yourself in debt, then I mean, that's kind of on you. Like,
And
if
what's
you pay
really
for-
sad is the weather wasn't that bad. I mean, I know that there
Well,
were
I
a
didn't think
couple
it
of
was bad
bad
at all.
storms, and where the weather was bad, it was terribly bad. Don't get me wrong, but it was very small
Yeah.
and isolated. I mean, I heard that like
Yeah.
when Keystone got hit with that hailstorm, it was giant hail. It destroyed people's motorcycles, cars, trucks, everything.
Yeah.
But it was like one little spot, and it was for a whole 20 minutes. It's like I think there was more a fear of bad weather that people just panicked and left, but the weather
Yeah.
wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't. It was pretty tolerable. Because when we were in Deadwood, we were dealing with like 106-degree temperatures. Spearfish
Yeah.
Canyon, someone said it was like 116, and I was like, that sucks.
There were some hot days
Yeah.
for sure, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
think people using the weather as an excuse is just kind of a cop out.
it's August. The hot weather's expected. I mean, we were there from Sunday to the Friday of the rally, and I feel like we had one day that was like rained out.
Mhm.
One day, like that
That was
Wednesday
it.
or whatever, where it
Out
was
of
like
12
it
days,
was just
we had
kind of a
one bad
rainy day all day, and we were like, all right, we're just gonna hang out. I'll do some editing, and we'll just chill. The rest of the days were perfectly fine, and even the day Thursday of the rally was cooler and windy, but it was still perfectly fine to ride. We went out and rode. That's the day we did Hewlett and all that, so we rode a ton that day. And then the day
Yeah.
we left Friday was supposed to be rainy, but we loaded up the bikes and everything in the morning when it was supposed to be raining, and it wasn't raining, and got everything packed up and left by 11, and there was no rain. There was no rain all the way out of South Dakota. So like in that whole 2 weeks we were there was one bad day. So I don't know what.
I think the forecast called for more rain than we actually got. But
Maybe
the forecast
it
kept
was some of the
changing.
surrounding, like, because obviously
Yeah.
we weren't where that hailstorm hit, so obviously if you got caught in that sucks. But I don't know.
What was
The
the other place we
the
parked
immediate Sturgis area, I didn't think was bad at
something?
all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would Keystone.
Okay. Gotcha.
Anyway,
Somebody asked, does Atlantic City have a rally? I want to say yes.
They did, but they still
They
do.
did. I don't know whether it's
No.
still active or not.
no, you
They-
can't call it a rally.
Yeah, they're
It's
trying to get something going.
It's like an
but-
event, but the problem is it will never take off because it is dominated by a large club presence,
Okay.
which is the exact same reason why the Wildwood Rally died.
Yep.
So the same club, that'll never take off. It's like a weekend thing, and it's nothing. It's not worth anybody's time. Someone did ask, and I think basically you kind of answered this, but if somebody asked if you would ever consider doing the Gettysburg Rally.
No, thank you.
No. I've heard too much
It's
bad
just
stuff
not
about it
big
from
enough,
other
right? Not
vendors.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're already out west by then.
I would. Yeah, very true. Yeah, I mean, I certainly wouldn't recommend it. I don't think it's worth your time.
No.
We've
I
had
don't think
people
it's
also ask us
our
about
time.
like bikes, blues, and barbecues, and we used to do Lake of the Ozarks, Hot Springs, and BBB. And since we became bigger, it's challenging. We do Ocean City. Then we come home, we do Smoky Mountain, because the Smoky Mountain rally that's in Maryville is closer to home for us. We don't even go to Myrtle in the fall anymore because that's just dying in the fall. But on top of that, I think there's 5 different rallies going on at the same time. So you have Myrtle, Smoky Mountain, you have BBB. Did I say Myrtle?
Yeah.
There's also the museum that's down in Alabama, like northeast Alabama, and
Birmingham.
in Birmingham. They're having something going on as well. And most people don't want to be at the beach in the fall. They want to be in the mountains where it's beautiful and it's cooler, and the leaves are changing, and it's a beautiful ride. So
Yeah.
we don't go to BBB.
Yeah.
So
I have not been to that yet. I would like to check it out, but
it's beautiful riding. It's warm. It's very
Yeah.
hot during that time of the year. So I like the Smoky Mountains because, it's our backyard. I mean, that's the Harley dealer that Adam deals with all the time when we're not on the road.
Okay.
And so that's we consider that our home Harley.
Right.
And because it's just 2 hours from home, if our kids want to come up for the day, or our friends in the city we live in decide, hey, we're going to come up, we're going to have lunch, we're going to come see you, then we're going to go home. It's pretty quick because you're just driving through the gorge to come up there. So
Nice.
we like doing that because it's gorgeous.
Nice. Well, I don't want to keep you guys all night. I know you're hanging out with friends and stuff. And it's been almost.
Oh, they're
2 hours.
inside already.
You look like you're in like a Halloween video or something with like the light shining up on your.
Oh, it's like a little outdoor screened-in gazebo.
No, Adam,
Yeah.
you look fine. It's just Katie. She looks like she's in a jack-o'-lantern.
It's because the iPad's shining.
The iPad. I'm trying to answer on our channel and your channel, so I've been doing
No,
that.
I got you.
And
Yeah.
So
She's multitasking.
I am.
I
I'm
hear you.
multitasking. It's the estrogen gene.
Mhm. Yep, as most women do.
Do y'all ever
Yes.
make it far west like Washington State?
We did when we went on our cruise a
Yeah.
couple years ago, but not for business. That was our vacation.
Yeah, we went to
We have not made it that
Alaska.
far ourselves. The furthest we've been is Montana.
Well, we went to Alaska. So, I mean, that was a couple summers ago, and we left after Sturgis. And then the same friends that we're with right now, we borrowed one of their cars and we went farther west and got on a cruise ship, did Alaska. And then we came down. I don't even know what road it is, but
It's the 101
the
Pacific
one
Coast Highway.
we
Yeah,
came down that way.
all the way through Oregon into Northern California.
We even stopped and I think we had dinner with one of our subscribers.
Yep.
And it was fun. I'm definitely an East Coast girl or a golf girl. I really like my golf, and the beach sand is hot. I'm just gonna say that. He wanted to go in the Pacific Ocean. I'm like running as fast as I could because I'm like, oh my God, my feet are on fire. I miss the East Coast. It's pretty, lots of, huge rocky, rocky cliffs and mountains, and you'll see the walruses out there and stuff like that, and
Sea lion.
sea lions, walruses, sea life, whatever. But you see all that kind of stuff out there, and it's pretty. We also I wanted to see the sequoias, so we went to Paul Bunyan's forest or whatever. It was really, really cool. So it's definitely worth doing. Get that off your bucket list, because I mean, it's really pretty. We've also been down to the Southwest when we were smaller.
Well, we've been to every state in the United States except Hawaii, and that we're hoping to take care of next year.
Yeah, Hawaii's next year for our 30th wedding anniversary. So,
Oh, there you go.
Oh, nice.
That'll be awesome.
of course, we're not going during our anniversary because we'll probably be at Wisconsin Dells again.
Who knows?
Oh, so it's coming up.
Yeah, so everybody's going to Wisconsin Dells. That's our anniversary.
Oh, shoot.
We're gonna
Bring
work
gifts.
That's right, Gamma. We're gonna work
Bring
it.
gifts. So this comment says, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. As fellow YouTubers, what's your thoughts on cycle drag still stirring the pot in Sturgis? Do Do y'all think that's good for the Sturgis rally turnout?
I'm gonna say this with a grain of salt. Whoever stirs the shit pot gets to lick the spoon.
Yeah.
Be honest, I haven't really kept up with his coverage. I did see a video that he put out yesterday just about how the business was really slow on a Sunday. But that's kind of typical of a lot of rallies now. On Sundays, you just don't have a lot. People want to get back home and whatnot. But I know he has created a lot of controversy over the last year with things he's filmed. I really haven't kept up with it. I barely know Jack. I've met him before. I've never had any issue with him. I mean, I've shook his hand and said hello as he comes by in films, but I really don't know him. But some people are kind of ticked off with him, and I just doesn't affect me. I stay neutral.
Yeah. So my thoughts, my opinion, and shit, he's light years ahead of me in YouTube subscribers, so take it for a grain of salt, or with a grain of salt. But I don't have an issue with most of the stuff he does. A lot of the stuff that people are giving him heat for, I think, the whole thing with the Daytona rider that was driving, drunk, and people want to blame him for that. I absolutely do not agree with that. I saw the video clip, and I don't know what else he was supposed to do without getting himself in trouble. Guy made his own decision, and that's his responsibility. So I don't think that's fair that people blame him for that and the heat he's getting. I think a lot of the stuff he records, I'm like, hey, I'm a YouTuber. That's the same stuff I record. If you're in public doing something embarrassing that now is, on video because people are around recording, that's on you. Like, you're in public. Don't be a moron, right? So people want to try to blame him for that. I don't have any problem with that. There are some things he does that I'm like, I wish he would show less of the police interactions, because I think they're kind of cheesy, and it kind of sheds a bad light on these. Yeah, there's a lot of police contact with civilians at the rallies because people are doing dumb stuff, but he likes to kind of interject himself into those, which I wish he wouldn't do, but that's what he does. There's some times when he's done some things where he's talking to people that I thought were weird and a little uncomfortable or awkward, but for the most part, I mean, he's just out there doing the same stuff I do. So I personally don't have a problem with it. Like, I think he gets a bad rap for some of that stuff. People don't want to take personal responsibility for their actions in public, and they try to blame him because he recorded it, and it's not his fault.
Yeah. Well, the only thing I know of that he kind of got on some people's backsides was bad sides, not backsides.
Wow, what are you thinking about?
I guess he filmed a couple of various bartenders, and then
that's the same guy.
And then, like, he would post a photo and then leave some kind of a comment, enticing people to leave negative comments about that photo. And so he's put some of the bartenders or girls that were, but what he's done is he's opened that door for people to come in and leave very negative and hurtful comments about some of these girls that are just kind of asinine. And I don't agree with that. Now, with that said, I don't know every one of the bartenders that are out here traveling with us, but we know a lot of them, and we know a lot of them very well, and they're great people. So, and I put the bartenders in my videos a lot too, but the thing is, I try to put them in there in more of a positive light. I mean, we're friends with most of them. That's why, like, when I walk up to them, they're usually happy and smiley. When Jack walks up to them now, they just flip him the bird and say, "Get the hell out of here," He's kind of crossed the bridge there where they don't want to work with him. And, at the same time, I kind of get it. These girls right here working, and he makes them look like they're just slutty whores, and they're not. Most of these girls are their moms, their teachers, they have lives. This is their job, just like it's our job, And so I try to put them in a little bit more of a positive light because I think they deserve it. But I don't know. A lot of people just seem to think he doesn't have any respect for women, especially the bartenders, and I try to put them in a more presentable light and entice people to go visit the bartenders and tip their bartenders and try to help them, make them more successful.
And I don't know whether you guys are aware of this, but there are, not this year as much because school started the way it did, but there's a lot of bartenders that are teachers, and they make a big chunk of money that they put into their classrooms for the students that they don't get money for. And that's another aspect that people don't realize. So when you have a YouTuber who, for lack of better words, is putting that information out there, and they're getting the views and that kind of thing. You know, that makes them feel really bad too, because they're like, that's not what's going on at all. There could be a single mom out there and she could make $10,000 in Sturgis and tips, and that floats her for the next probably 5 or 6 months. But then you have these people who are bad mouthing them, and that's not okay. That's not a positive thing. And I don't agree with that at all. And it's upset. It's upset a lot of the bartenders because of it. So.
Well, I mean, he's going to have to deal with that, because when he has less and less places that he can go to and less people that would talk to him, that's, you know, that's only going to affect him. So it's his problem more than anybody's, I guess.
Yeah.
It is. However, sometimes that affects other YouTubers who are starting out or who do want to put them in a good light. I remember Adam was filming at Suck Bang Blow, and one of the bouncers came over and said, unless you're going to pay him, don't even think about it, because they've had to deal with this kind of thing. You know,
Yeah.
and so
I don't really agree with that. Like, you're in public, like just like anybody else. Everybody that walks by me, you know, is fair game to be recorded. And why are you any different? I mean,
and that's fine. Just be
should tip
careful
them
what
if you're
you
going to
say.
interact with them. But
you know, I
yeah,
mean,
sure, but I'm just,
and
I don't feel
I'm
like you're
respectful.
some protected class just because you're a bartender. You know,
that's
I feel like
not
you're out
that's
there.
not how they
you're with
feel.
everybody else.
It's more the comments that are made.
Sure,
you know,
but the YouTuber can't control the comments that are made on the picture or video that he posts.
They can if they're instigating
if
it.
they're instigating it.
Yeah, and I guess that's
Sure,
where the problem came in with him. But
yeah, I guess. I mean, I personally haven't seen it, but I've heard a lot of people say that. So I mean, I've seen every video he's ever put out. I've just never really noticed that from him. But and again, I don't know him from anybody. Like, I'm not trying to defend him. I'm just I'm only defending him from the aspect of a YouTuber because I'm a YouTuber. You know.
Yeah. No, and I get that too.
Yeah. But I mean, I still see people that, like Karen Noel, who's one of the biggest ones out there. Like, she still interacts with him every rally, and doesn't seem to have an issue with him. So I don't know if they just have a different relationship or what. But
Karen's a sweetheart anyway. She's a great personality. So.
But again, whatever he does, it's going to affect him and his channel. He's got to deal with it. So
yeah, no, I agree. It's totally his responsibility to do as he sees fit.
Oh, what else?
Do any of my viewers have questions for Bert and Carolyn?
Oh, snacks.
Everyone's asking questions about us. Let's talk about them.
You have the interesting stuff. We just ride around and film stuff.
Ride around and film.
I don't know anything about that.
What?
I guess, but the cycle drag dude is still pissed because of how he was treated by that lady that came out of the Oasis on the street.
Well, that lady was, in my opinion, was completely out of line, and it was really awkward and weird. And again, regardless of what you think, she doesn't have the right to lay hands on him, and she slapped it. So she wasn't in the right. She wasn't in the right at all. And
the violence. I don't agree with the violence. That shouldn't be going on at all.
If what he's saying is true, is completely wrong, because he's saying that bar is owned by the mayor. I don't have a clue. I have no idea. But he's saying that bar is owned by the mayor, and that lady works there, so she feels like she can do whatever she wants because she works for the mayor. So that ain't cool.
That is definitely inappropriate.
Again, stuff I don't even know much about, so I don't keep up with it. I get too much crap that I've actually got to worry about. I don't pay attention.
I watch a lot of YouTube, Adam. I watch a lot of YouTube. Yeah, I do more of a brew. Oh no, don't ask a brew question. I don't brew beer. Question: what are the best beer at a rally, and where was it? Oh shoot. Honestly, any rally, it's tough to find. If you're a craft beer, like if you like the stuff that I like, it's hard to find good stuff.
But I will say more breweries are popping up in areas. So
well, yeah,
you can go to a brewery.
But like when you're talking like in the heart of the rally at all the different vendors and stuff, it's gonna be all the domestic stuff, you know, all the Bud Light, Coors Light, Michelob Ultras, and all that crap, which is so bad. But I will say, if you want to get like the kind of beer that I like, the good craft beer, Full Throttle Saloon is a good spot to go because their inside bar has a pretty huge tap lineup, and they had Elysian Space Dust on tap, which is a very, very, very good IPA. So that's what I got in the giant mug for $20 with $8 refills. So you can't go wrong with that. But problem is, if you're drinking that, you should probably be getting an Uber or have somebody drive you because that's going to catch up to you real quick.
Yeah.
That's strong stuff. But yeah, I mean, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be lucky to get like a Goose Island IPA or maybe a Voodoo Ranger or something like that. But you're not going to get anything. You're not going to get anything like Treehouse or something like that. It's just not going to happen. So
If
you're
you
in the
guys
beer,
get
rallies really aren't the place.
If you guys get a chance to come to our
Right.
neck of the woods, there's so many microbreweries. I mean, you may need an Uber, but there's a lot of microbreweries, in the mountains.
Yeah, Western North
Is that
Carolina.
North Carolina?
Yeah,
Western North
Carolina.
Carolina.
There's so many
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
breweries out there.
and it's beautiful riding. So like, I know that over in the Pisgah Forest, it's my brother's always over there, and he's always like, oh yeah, they've got these these different microbreweries. A lot of the farmers over there grow the hops for them.
Yeah.
We have Hoppy Trout where we live. And it's one of my favorite pizza places, but they do Beertoberfest, and we're in Daytona, and they make all these different things for all the different seasons. Like they do a butterscotch beer in October, but I know you guys are in, those kind of beers.
Yeah.
So it would be fun when you travel to hit a couple of places you haven't been to before, because it would probably give you a nice little, plug, but just so people can see it and
Yeah.
go, hey, I saw this, and I think that it would, be good to visit. It was beautiful riding when they were there, that kind of thing. But lots of
yeah.
microbreweries where we live, a lot of them.
I believe it. As I see things pop up, we see because of what I follow on Instagram, I see breweries pop up all the time, and I'm like, oh, this looks amazing, and it's always in places like either North Carolina or like Western PA or some South
Yep.
Carolina. But yeah,
Yeah.
so
Like Appalachians, it's all along the Appalachians.
yeah. Scruffy Santa Ride says, for all of you, what rallies would you suggest to someone to go to as a first rally?
What one would be a good first rally?
I would say Sturgis,
Yeah, I would definitely stay Sturgis and allow yourself 10 days there.
or at least sometime.
Yeah, because there's just
Yeah.
so much to see, and there's not enough time to see it all. I've heard people come, we just came for the weekend. I'm like, oh, you're here to party? Because you're not going to get enough riding
Yeah.
in.
Oh, you're not going to get anything in, man. You're not going to
No.
get anything
Let's
in.
face
This is
it,
the weekend.
Sturgis is
You're not
just
even.
the best of the best. So if you're gonna do one and you do your
It
first
is.
one, might as well make it the big one, you know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. The beer takes the bus. Yeah, sometimes we took the bus. What else?
Yes, we'll be in Thunder Beach again this year. In the fall, we'll be at Frank Brown Park.
Nice. Very cool.
I'm just trying to answer the questions as they're coming in.
It's frozen. It's been frozen.
It's
Yeah,
there's
me
been a little
too.
bit more that's come up too.
The cigar lung in Deadwood. How's that spot? We did go to that
What
cigar
did you say?
lounge,
Where?
the very top one.
Have you been to the cigar lounge in Deadwood, and how is that spot? Yes, we have been to Deadwood Tobacco Co. Now, I was not ever at the original spot, which Stevie, who's probably not on here anymore, but he would swear that was better, but still said this one was good. I think it's a great spot as a bar, so you can get yourself. And they actually, honestly, that's another place that had some good beer on tap, some good craft beer, some good IPAs on tap. Obviously, a really good lineup of cigars, and they'll have some live music. It's a pretty big building, so they got some nice lounge space and different chairs and stuff to sit out in. So, highly recommend Deadwood Tobacco Co. It was a good spot.
We had a cigar guy there, a company in our lot. I don't know if you guys went over to it.
No, we didn't.
It was next to the people who were doing the wash next to us.
Okay.
They weren't open all the time.
Uh-oh. This one might be a bad question. This one is Adam. A couple of years ago, you had Jessa, your dog, with you.
Yeah, I just answered that one.
I always
That's
look forward.
Jessa
Okay.
is Talon's dog. She's 17 and she's at home with her dad.
Okay.
Yeah, she's only on the road with us if our son comes with us because it's his dog. Our dog, we put down 3.5 years ago, so she hasn't been with us in a while.
Yeah. So Eddie, Ocean City is 100% a party rally. I love it. I think it's a great time. I just love Ocean City in general. But yeah, it's not a riding rally. There's a couple rides you can do that are good, but all in all, it's definitely not a riding rally. So if that's what you were looking for, I would definitely expect you to be disappointed for sure.
Yeah, it really isn't. There isn't really any destination riding in Ocean City.
Now you can go down to what is that called? The funky name, long ass name.
Assateague.
Assateague Island.
Yeah.
Or
And go
Chincoteague
see the
Island. You can
horses.
go right out to those. And those are,
Yeah.
you know, it's a nice ride out there. You can get on some back roads, but it's not going to be like Sturgis or Laconia or anything like that.
Yes.
Sure.
We did the cruise in the coast tour. That was kind
We
of
did.
fun.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was like a kind of a poker run type of thing where you had to
Yeah.
stop at each place and get. What'd you have to get? Like a
I think you
stamp
got
or
a stamp
something?
at each one,
Yeah.
and then you brought it back and you picked your poker hand right back at the.
No, that was fun. If
stadium.
you like the poker runs, if you like that style of riding, the one they run out of what was that?
Shorebird
That was out of
Stadium.
Shorebird, which I don't know how much longer that place is going to be running, but that was a lot of fun. Which
Some of the
rallies are
ones that
riding
we've-
rallies besides Sturgis and Smoky Mountain? The only one I can think of that I've been to that I can vouch for is Laconia. I think Laconia is about as close as you're going to get to.
I hear the
Sturgis
Four Corners
riding on the
rally
East
down in
Coast.
Durango is really good too, but we've never been there ourselves. But I hear it's awesome for riding
Okay.
the $1 million highway and whatnot.
Yep.
Have you been down there?
Yeah, definitely. We have not.
To the Four Corners
Not
down
yet.
there in Colorado?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
I've never been to
That's
Colorado.
supposed to.
Remember, there's a delay. You got to pause for a second.
Sturgis was my first big rally. Been to several small local rallies before that. Okay.
Yeah, I think my first ever rally was Wildwood, New Jersey.
Me too. Yeah.
Back in what 2013,
13 maybe 14, something like that.
Yeah, and they don't even have that rally anymore.
No.
But that's what got it started for us.
Yeah, $1 Million Highway is definitely on the bucket list for sure. For sure. We
The
hopefully
other
get out there
one
next year.
was it we went to it last year and the year before. Big Bear. No.
I was talking about Beartooth Pass.
Beartooth Pass.
So-
That's another
So
one.
there is a rally in Red
Oh.
Lodge, Montana, just before the Sturgis rally, and there's some pretty good riding around there too. Beartooth Pass is one of the most amazing motorcycle roads you'll ever ride, and
Yeah.
it's a pretty small, quaint rally, but we've done it a couple times. Not working it, we've just been there a couple times during rally, and it's really cool.
It's a cute little western town, but the riding is phenomenal.
Nice. Yeah, a lot of people like the $1 Million Highway. Just a mini BC. What does that mean? There's no bad
British
roads
Columbia?
in Colorado. Oh, go north. Okay. Well, can't go there if you don't have your passport.
This is true.
Des was impressed with the amount of bikers at the Red Lodge rally. Okay.
Yeah, it's a good rally, I think.
All right. And that's right before Sturgis?
Yeah, it's usually middle of July, if I'm not mistaken.
Also, if we were coming back from the west to go to Sturgis,
Possibly.
let's go. Let's go.
You guys have
All
never
right,
been to
well-
Yellowstone either?
Where?
Yellowstone?
We've been to Yellowstone, not on the bikes. We've been there in the car, but not nearly as long as we would like to be there. It was like a day and a half.
Yeah, it's beautiful there
So-
too.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's gorgeous, but yeah, we need
Jackson
more-
Hole, Wyoming.
We did go to Jackson Hole. Yeah.
Wait until Alberta becomes a state.
Yeah, we got to get out there. Ride to Deer. There's no ride to Dearborn, Michigan.
There is a small rally up there. It's around the same time as Deadwood is going on. So I think it's the second week of July because we have friends that work that one.
Where at?
In Deadwood. I'm sorry, Dearborn.
Dearborn?
Yeah,
I know
Michigan.
there is a rally in Michigan somewhere.
Yeah, there is a rally in Michigan.
It can't be Dearborn.
Maybe not, but there's one somewhere up there just
It
before
can't be
Sturgis.
Dearborn. Not unless they're riding camels, it can't be. No way. 2-3 weeks
That was
before Independence
business.
Day.
Yep, this is frozen over here.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's been 2 hours, and Princess needs her beauty sleep. I'm blaming
You're
you.
blaming me. I know.
Because you're over there huffing and puffing.
Oh, I thought he was talking about me.
Yes, I was. I totally was. Anyway,
Princess.
anybody got any final last call for questions? Last call for legitimate questions for Adam or for us? Will Adam ever do Arizona Bike Week?
You know, I'd love to do it again. We haven't done it since 2018, I want to say. I really enjoyed being out in Arizona. It's just so expensive to travel out there. And there are some hiccups that come along with it. The Scottsdale place that's hosting the rally, it's very expensive for vendors. They don't want us to stay in our rig inside, so then I got to split things up and then rent a hotel room if I want Goliath indoors. There's a bunch of hurdles where they don't make it easy to do, but we haven't been out real west in so long. I'd love to go do it again. I just need an excuse. I'd even thought about just getting on my motorcycle and riding out there next year. In fact, I was going to do it this last year and I didn't. And even just working for another vendor. I even talked to Shane at Rick Rack about me just coming out there and installing parts for him just so I could get back out there again because I really enjoy being out west and it's been a while. But for business, I don't think it makes much sense for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
We did a long
one
time
last
ago.
question. And it's, yeah.
When we were smaller,
Okay.
we would go hit well, we were doing Peoria.
Yeah, we did the three. So we would do it was called Phoenix Bike Fest, right? Which happened the same time as Arizona Bike Week, but it was a couple towns away over in Peoria outside of Phoenix instead of up in Scottsdale.
One time in Cave Creek.
Yeah, one time we did Cave Creek, but then we'd also do the Yuma Prison Run, which was a very small rally. I don't even know if I call it a rally. It's more of just like an event, right? And then we would go do the Laughlin River Run. So to go out there and do 3 events, we could kind of justify the trip.
It made more sense.
But then 2 of those, the Laughlin River Run got canceled, the Yuma Prison Run got canceled. So then it was just Arizona Bike Week. And the Peoria Bike Fest or the or Phoenix Bike Fest got canceled as well. So it only left the one option and it just wasn't ideal. And truth is, back then we had the dog too. They wouldn't allow the dog inside the venue. So then I was like, now I got to kennel my dog to go work. And I'm like, no, I'm just not doing all that.
Jeez. Okay. Well, I got one final question from my own personal
Did you break even?
interest. What months, like when are you like home? When is your like off season?
So
you're
after
actually, like,
Lone
back
Star
up in-
Rally, yeah, after the Lone Star Rally, we go home. So that's usually second week in November at the latest. Sometimes it's the first, at the end of the first week.
Okay.
And then we're usually home until we head to Daytona, which is usually the end of February, beginning of March.
So how's your weather down there in like November, December?
November's not too bad because that's still kind of finishing up fall time. It's usually fairly nice during the day. It gets pretty chilly at night. December, it starts to get cold. January, February, sometimes it gets a little bit brutal. I say brutal. It's not brutal like New Jersey temperatures, but we'll get some cold temperatures.
We get maybe an average of 10 inches of
Yeah.
snow a year, but we do get quite a bit of ice.
Sometimes we'll get a whole week where it's only in the 30s or something. But yeah, it's not miserable winters, but
It's
it's
drier, I think, than it is like
no, we get a lot of rain in the winter.
We do get rain, but like when we were living in Central Florida, where we grew up, it was just kind of like, it was so wet and cold and the wind would just go right through you. And you don't get that as much because we're protected by the mountains.
Yeah.
So that helps.
So
Why, you gonna come visit us this winter?
well, yeah,
And-
we talked about collabing and riding together. So I was just trying to figure out like when you're home and what the weather's like when you're home.
Yeah.
Because for you to come to ride in Jersey would be pretty lame because Jersey riding is kind of lame. So
At that time of year, I can understand.
I'd be more than fine with it if you wanted to come here, but I would never ask anyone to come
There's
here.
gonna be some
Follow
good
on the
areas.
Garden State Parkway, head towards New York City.
Yeah,
It'll be
we'll
fun
just-
for all.
We'll get on the turnpike. We can do some highway miles. It'd be a great time.
Yeah.
No, we did the blizzard last year, the day after Christmas. We don't want to do that again.
No.
Nope, don't blame you.
We drove through a blizzard last year on the 26th of December in his truck, and I was
really?
like, "Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
going
In
to
what
New York
state?
City.
Oh.
Go to Jersey and into New York
into
State.
New York City," and I was like, I said, "I thought this city didn't sleep. There's nobody out here." And he goes, "Honey, there's ice and snow everywhere. We shouldn't be out here either."
Yeah, no shit.
It was crazy. You couldn't even see the roads. It was nuts. So we've been there,
All
done
right.
that.
Okay, well, I wouldn't want to do that again either.
Yeah.
All right, well,
Well, you
listen.
got my cell phone. If you really want to plan a vacation to come visit with us, we'll make that happen.
Are
Yeah,
you into
for sure.
casinos? Do you like casinos?
I like casinos. My wallet does. Well, my wallet doesn't either like them because I lose every friggin' time.
We're very unlucky people.
We're the unluckiest gamblers ever,
We are.
man. We've
We
never
never
won
do
anything.
well.
I won one time, and I've been doomed ever since. So,
Good job.
I used up all my good luck. But yeah, but why you got casinos by you?
7 miles
Got a
from the
couple, yeah.
house.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
I would hit up
it's close
I do
by.
like some roulette. We like some roulette.
So does
Well,
Adam.
That's the only game I play, really.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
fun.
nice.
It's fun. All right,
You guys
guys.
can have some
Everybody in the
fun.
side chat, we appreciate you guys. All this has been a great group tonight. A good number hanging out with us and shooting the shiz and asking questions. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Everybody on Adam's channel, thank you for watching. Had a good time. So maybe we'll do this again. If Adam wants to catch up again after another rally, we're always here. Hit us up. Let me know. We can do this
Absolutely.
again.
Well, we'll probably see you at Ocean City, so maybe we'll plan for after Ocean City.
All right. All
See
right.
that?
All right, guys.
you,
Till the
guys.
next time we see you.
Keep those engines running.
What she said.
There you go.
Great.
Was that
All right,
awkward?
guys. Good night.
Good night.
No, it wasn't. It just there was a delay on our side.
Oh.
Are we off now?